Welcome to SerialPodcastNine.
How are you? Wait, should we do an intro and then we just start all of the conversation? That's
the best way to do it.
Yeah, Blaine, you should know that's not how we usually do this. Usually we bullshit with each other for a long time.
Hey, I'm Gerard DiPeralta.
And I'm Kevin Peterson.
And I'm Ryan Benoit, and this is Serial Podcast 9, episode the one after the last one. Hey, guess what's exciting about tonight? Or today, or whenever you listen to it.
We have a guest on the show.
Yes. And for the very first time, this is a guest that I only know like from the internet. I don't think I've ever seen a photo of you. I've never heard. In fact, when Kevin said, "Oh, I've reached out to Blaine," I was like, "Who's Blaine?" And then he said, "Your Instagram." And I was like, "Oh yeah, that guy's dope." And I was so excited that you were going to be on the podcast. So Blaine is your name, but the internet might know you as,
I guess, Righteous Garage.
You guess, as I feel like it's a big deal.
Sure.
Right on.
They know me as other things. You know, I got a lot of names.
Yeah.
Go back to the forum days. There's probably a lot of names for me.
Yeah.
Hey, what was the most ridiculous name you had on a forum?
Oh, I had the same name for ages and ages. It was 4DGS. And I was just looking for some of those four-door Gs because I've had four-door G35s forever. But I use that on every single forum. So.
Oh, good.
That's cool.
Gerard, I assume you were just like SerialNine all the time.
No, it was G73.
Oh.
Because I always had X7, so like a MX73. No, MX73 was always G73.
Oh,
and it was spelled out too, so it was like 73.
Oh, that's good. You're like mine.
What was yours?
Mine was the number 1 and then 80 spelled out and then capital S, capital X.
Whoa.
180. It's like the same thing as yours. It's like the same thing as yours.
It is.
And you're like, that's silly. I had a 180 SX. What are you on about? Get out of here with it. Kevin, I bet Kevin had the most fun name because it's Kevin.
No, mine was like the same everywhere too, which is like the EMAG didn't.
It was mind game backwards.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But then 13, because like you couldn't get the original like lots of times.
And 69 was taken.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
Great.
69 420 boy.
At least it wasn't like Honda Slut 610Z at hotmail.com or whatever.
Skater boy. Yeah. 18. I don't know.
Could you imagine if people put their email addresses on their car back then?
I love asking people what their first email address was. And you can always tell when the generation shifts because it's like when they start being like regular ass emails from when they started, you're just like, oh, you're like in your like 20s now. Anyone who is now in their like 30s had some dorky ass email as their first email. And I love it. But anyway, great. Hey, Blaine, what was your first email address?
The first one I can remember is I had a Pantera email. So it was 1994 album, Far Beyond Driven.
Oh.
Pantera?
I don't know if you guys ever listened to Pantera. Yeah. But
okay.
Age is old now. Not the cars.
Yeah. I was like, like Pantera, like De Tomaso? Like,
yeah. No. Gerard's only got one lane. It's cars. He's got 2 speeds, go and fast. All right. So, Righteous Garage. This is really exciting. Like I said, we've never talked in person. We talked on the interwebs. You sent me some beer, which was the most delightful thing. So, I appreciate that.
Yeah, I meant to have it with me right now, and I forgot it at the shop.
Hilarious story. I had one of them last night, and I was like, "Oh, this will just be an easy drinking beer," and I didn't look at it, and then I opened it and had a swig, and I was like, "Oh nope, it's a 10%er," and I was just like,
which one was it?
It was the Arts and Collective collab that you sent, the like light. And I drank it. Now I can't remember because it was 10%.
I can't remember which ones are in there now, but
it was like there
was some interesting ones.
Yeah. I liked that. I had that voodoo one, the one that you said had to be stored upside down. Zombie?
Zombie. Yeah.
Zombie.
That shit's
I
delicious.
like that. Yeah, I loved it.
So good.
Gerard
I feel
and
like
Kevin
I'm doing
did-
healthy things when I drink it.
Why do you
Yeah.
have to store it upside down? Because
I have no idea.
Oh,
Some
okay.
scientific
Wow.
shit going in there, man.
Yeah,
They
I
got
mean, you think
science.
it's all the same no matter which way, you know. But
Yeah, they're the BMW of beers.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I've had a
You know.
beer. I've had a beer explode in like a cupboard.
Oh,
That's
crazy.
the gremlin of beers.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. The Pinto of beers.
Pinto.
The Pinto, that's a good one too. Yeah, great. Oh, good. All right. Righteous Garage. I feel like there's first. I don't even know where to start with this.
What do you do?
Like,
Yeah, first of all,
what do you do?
Who are you?
and what do you do?
I guess like more or less I do Japanese importing. I've done suspension and fender rolling for the last, I don't know, 13, 14 years now. I build 3-piece wheels and source and import those wheels as well.
Sounds like you're Eric, Gerard, and Alex put together.
a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Master.
Do you drive a car and take pictures? Because then you could just replace Kevin and myself. Damn it.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm out of job.
Yeah,
Not professionally though.
we're all out of jobs.
he's
Yeah,
like
this-
the AI version of SerialNine.
Oh my God. Hey, how long have you been Righteous Garage?
So the RG name came in like, I think about 11 years ago. And I've been doing this pretty much about 3 years prior to that. I worked in a custom shop pretty much right out of high school and kind of veered away from that and went my own path. And it just kind of morphed into Righteous Garage, I guess.
Cool.
That is your full-time gig, yeah?
Not fully. No, I kind of have like a 60-40 split. We have a family-owned company that does live sound and audio production. So like outdoor events, live music, that kind of thing.
Cool.
And that's kind of more so the 60. And then the RG shop's still kind of the 40.
Okay. So you guys have a full shop? Or you just have a place to do work?
Like the RG shop?
Yeah.
Yeah, full shop. So we're about 1,600 square feet in Cambridge. And luckily enough, it's about it's literally out of the parking lot into the next parking lot of the Angus Audio Shop, which is the audio production shop.
The 60.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's pretty good. Prior to that, I've worked in all cars before coming back to the family business. Worked in Toyota dealerships and Euro specialty shops, all kinds of weird stuff over the years. And I was kind of to the point where I needed to stop doing cars full time and like kind of appreciate cars again. So kind of left the 100% cars and tried to make a break for it and kind of a split between it. So I still enjoy it.
Nice.
It's been working out pretty good.
Enjoy it.
You can just have kids too, because then there's like the fucking 80% kids and like 20% everything else. Like,
yeah, that's a factor. We got dogs, but that's about as close as I guess.
Similar.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Just put your kids in the crate.
Three cat.
Yeah, exactly.
And,
Crate your kids.
Yeah, great. You're a big time dog guy, is what I feel like I know about you.
I was gonna say,
And
I feel like you
got-
guys are mostly cat guys.
We
Yeah,
are
we're a
cat
bunch
guys.
of pussies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. We're
great.
gonna roll with the pack.
Hard's been banking that one. So what does Righteous Garage do? Like at your shop, if I were to come into your shop, what would I be coming to see you for? Hey, Blaine, how's it going? I need your help.
in most cases right now, it's mostly like this time of year, especially it's mostly like refinish work. We do bend repairs and machine work and everything inside of that as well. So I mean, we're doing a lot of refinish work this time of year.
For the wheels.
So yeah, exactly. So
Okay.
pretty much same gig that Alex does, rare spec there. And
Alex doesn't do bend repair, bro.
so
A lot of potholes.
yeah, I didn't think he did bend repair actually. So
No, you're
I mean, I've given him bent wheels and he's repaired them.
that's true. Yeah.
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 I'm just a
that
lot
is
more proficient with a hammer, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's cool. And then I feel like the other big thing, you have it on your sweater. People at home can't see your hoodie. If we were in Saskatchewan, I'd call it a bunny hug. That's another story.
What?
In Saskatchewan, a hoodie.
Don't tell anybody that.
It's
I'm
called
telling
a
everyone.
what?
A hoodie's called a bunny hug?
hug. Yeah.
I gotta look
Man,
this
now
shit
you're
up.
all gonna learn something.
I gotta look this
Look
shit
it up. You look it up while I ask this question.
Prairies are weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man. They're not like normal, but
they're like one step below the Maritimes.
Yeah.
I mean, the Maritimes, I feel like have an advantage because they have
They're on
water.
the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
they have water.
Yeah, shut up.
And everything associated
Hey.
with the water, like fish and the delicious food.
Hey, how many podcasts do you do with a guy from the Maritimes? Shut up, Gerard.
Zero.
Yeah, exactly. Why don't you go tell it to all your maritime friends that you've made yeah, exactly. You're probably friends with more people from the prairies, Gerard, than you are from the Maritimes.
I mean, technically I'm sort of from the prairies, so I mean,
It's
what
just
is
the
Manitoba's Manitoba's not prairies. That's like fucking tundra, basically.
I feel like it's still considered the prairies, isn't it?
I think it is too, but it's like, I don't know. It's just like bush. It's like garbage. It's what it is.
I love that you go back and forth on if you're from like Manitoba or not. Sometimes it feels like.
Well, I am from Manitoba. I was fucking
I
born
know you
there.
are, but then there's a podcast where you're like, my life didn't begin until I moved.
Well, I mean, like,
yeah, no, it's fine.
I mean, when you're young, you're doing stuff, but it's like kid stuff. You don't like know a whole lot. It's like when you have a life, fair. You didn't like
all right.
live your life. You know what I mean? So
your name and hoodies weird shit. So
yeah.
Well, yeah. Well, not in Manitoba, just in Saskatchewan. It's very strange.
So anyways, on his hoodie is
no, on his
bunny hug.
On this bunny hug. No. Okay. 326 power. You have a connection to 326 power? 326?
Yeah. Essentially, yeah, we became 326 Power Canada as of January 2020. And kind of like a weird stumble upon situation with meeting them while we were in Japan. And that turned out really cool. They're a brand I've followed for a long time. I've had the suspension, the wheels in my car for probably since like 2016, I think now. And kind of met some guys through that ended up introducing us to Mitsuru Hiraguchi, obviously the owner of 326 Power. And he kind of extended a hand and said, hey, do you want to do 326 Power Canada? And obviously I jumped at that because that's incredible. So yeah, it's been cool. COVID made that a little bit weird. It was really, really hard. Obviously shipping aero and everything was a nightmare, but we've got it rolling. So yeah, it's been cool.
Is it business pretty good?
Yeah, no complaints, man. We get a lot of inquiries from it for everything else that we do, just through the fact that like the name's attached to it, right? So that's been real cool. But yeah, I mean, trying to ship a lot of those parts that we want to. They want to ship everything courier and have everything tracked, right? So that's tough, but it's getting better as we get further and further away from COVID.
Yeah, fuck COVID, man.
For real.
Good. Great.
Yeah. So what's your favorite 326 power wheel, bro?
Ooh, the OG Yabba King spoke, the traditional 5-spoke from those guys.
Yeah. I want to say, honestly,
is that the one you're making the 3-piece?
Yeah. So I've got a set of 18s that I've chopped up, and we're going to build those for my Blit. So that thing will be all right. And because traditionally they're a 2-piece welded wheel. Yeah. So we've chopped them up. We're going to make them a true 3-piece wheel. So
cool. Yeah, I always loved the mesh, the Yabba King mesh.
Yeah.
I guess it's the same, like it's the same casting as like the Meister L1, almost the way like the face comes out.
Yeah, like with the protruding face bead with the register behind it. Yeah,
exactly. So I always thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah,
but you have those. You have at least one set of those, don't you?
I also like the KF racing ones.
I was going to buy a set. I talked to you actually. I was going to.
Yeah, we quoted all those out. I think that's what you're doing the M35, right?
Yeah, I was going to change all my wheels and stuff, and then I don't know. I just ended up keeping everything, but yeah, I did want to go with some new crazy wheels and all that stuff. But yeah, that was when we were doing that ridiculous thing. So
yeah,
and we got a different route. So
yep, how she goes. But yeah, no, I own just about one of every wheel in the lineup except for some of the new stuff. So especially in the multi-piece stuff. Yeah, and I just spread them around in my different cars, which is ideal. So
nice.
So going to that. How many cars in the fleet?
So actually, I had a count before we got on today. I have 8 at the moment. I've got
Jesus.
Yeah, I picked one up on Sunday as well. So I mean that's not helping, but So the oldest car in the fleet is I've got a 2003 G35 sedan, which has been my like
That's a sick car.
bread and butter for a long time. It's like one of the original green cars from early build date of 2002. I've got my 110 Blit, which is a 1G car that we've turboed with my buddy Jeff at IzzyFab. And I've got the daily driver, which is my Lexus GX470. I've got an E46 convertible, which is my wife's summer daily driver. I've got an E90 328, which is her all year daily driving, which I mean, yeah, you're not into that. So
no, I am into that.
Yeah, I know.
Nodding. Not
nodding to that. I like not into
No,
that.
you're nodding. No, you're nodding.
And then I've got a pair of Infinity Q45, so Y33 chassis, which you'll be familiar with the one that Travis used to have out there, the two-tone one. And it's got a CD swap on the V8 in one of them. And then the other one's a metal wide body, just silly car that is useless now. And I think that's all of them. Oh, and I bought an LS430 on Sunday. So
that's the one. Okay,
yeah. Just picked that up, and that's probably going to replace the E90 as Aaron's like all around daily. I just want something
reliable.
Yeah, more Toyota like. So yeah. Not that I can say anything bad about the E90. That thing has been absolutely bulletproof. Like we got it for nothing, and like it's needed nothing. So it's been really, really good to us. So
nice. That's good.
Non-turbo BMWs. Are really good.
So your heat still works, is what you're saying. Your heat's A-okay?
This week.
Yeah. Gerard, how's the heat going on your BMW?
There is heat. It's not hot.
Yeah. Here's an update of what it's like to be friends with Gerard. You wake up in the morning to a series of text messages, just not like hello, good morning, just like heat's not working on the BMW. And then he's like showing you screenshots of all the Google searches he's done to try to trouble us. And I have any input to be able to help him. And then Kevin. So Kevin's just like making BMW jokes. Everyone was having their own separate conversation, it feels like. Anyway, so yeah, that's an update that Gerard maybe did or did not want to give. But anyway, so it's good that your BMWs treated you well, Blaine. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, they're working good. I picked them right, I guess. So
not for good.
But your car's still NA though, right? Like it's
it's just a 118 and it's like a JDM import. So it's just
is it still an inline six though, or
no? It's a 4-cylinder.
It is 4-cylinder. Okay.
Yeah. So the 130 is the 6-cylinder. That's what I'm trying to move up to. But all the 116, 118, and 120 are all the like N46 like lower model cars.
Yeah. Okay.
It's like 140 horse or something like that. So
yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the I guess the predecessor to the now B46. It's in like the base model Super and stuff.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Apparently it's a half decent engine, but I mean, obviously it's just tons of oil leaks and other shit. So
yeah, well, once you get through all the oil leaks and everything, they're honestly pretty solid.
Yeah. No, it's a blast to drive. So
they're fast, on gas too.
Apparently, man, it's supposed to be like 7 liters per 100, and I'm just like, I don't know about that, but yeah, I mean,
no, you'll definitely do that in the 4-cylinder. Like even to Aaron's car, like she does kind of a 50-50 split, and like she does probably 7.5, 8 liters.
Holy shit!
And that's a 328. So that's in N52.
That's an inline 6. Yeah.
So it does.
Yeah, that's the engine that the 130 I has is the N52. So yeah, but it's like
great
265 horse, and I think the 328 is like 230 horse or something.
Probably something like that.
Yeah.
So not fast, but fast enough.
Yeah. It's interesting how they do that, like the same motor, but like higher horsepower. And Toyota doesn't really do that. Like there's no like,
I never know what they're doing with that. I don't know if that's just like brochure talk or what.
Well, I mean, it's like a higher output, cause they have the 323 and 328.
Yeah.
That's like if they had like a 2JZ and then like a non-turbo 2JZ that made more power. It's like kind of weird. You know what I mean?
Why don't you just put that in everything?
Yeah, exactly. Why would you bother with the lower horsepower one? It's like slightly cheaper to make. I don't know. Whatever. Tons of engines, tons of choices.
Right. Good. Hey, Blaine.
Back to our regular program here.
Yeah. Hey, Blaine, out of your 8 cars, which is your favorite? And which is your least favorite?
I probably don't have a least favorite right now. I like them all at the moment, which like I struggled this summer. Like I don't know what I should be driving because I finished the the wide body Q45 has been under knife for like the last 6 years. So I didn't drive it a whole ton, but like I drove it more than I thought I would, I guess. And I mean, it's been pretty cool, but I mean, I feel like the G is still like my favorite out of those, oddly enough, because it's just like it's the most well set up car I have because I know the chassis so well. I've done everything to it I've had that car since high school, right? So I've had it for forever and ever. And I feel like I just know it really well. So it works good and I have no complaints about it. So yeah, I can't really pick one that I don't like much.
It's a really good looking G sedan. That looks
it works good, man. Yeah. And it's well set up, right? So I appreciate that car a lot. I would say the E46 is probably my least favorite right now just because it's so slow, but we'll fix that. We'll fix that later.
Right. I was going to say, if you couldn't decide, if there was a car that you really wanted to buy, but you had to get rid of one, which would be the first up on the chopping block?
It might be the CD swapped Q45 is the first one to go. As bad as that is, just because it's probably the roughest one that needs the most work, but it's also like the prime contender to become like a actual track car. So
yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Go ahead. All right. Good. Hey, I'm not going to apologize for all my past opinions about G's. If you came on here thinking I was going to be nice about those cars, I'm not. I still don't like. Anyway, no. To each their own.
I feel like I do have to stand up for those cars, though, man. They have such a bad rep in the last little while, and man,
I like those cars.
It kills me.
Sweet.
But like people are straight piping them and shit, and they just sound bad. Like.
Just
put nice exhaust on those cars and they can sound so good. Stay away from test pipes and
I bought long tubes for mine because I was like, the long tube headers change the sound so much. Like, there's so much you can do to them to make them sound proper, and people are just like hacking exhaust off and be like, oh, it's 6 VQ. It's like, no, it sounds like a trash can, dude. Like proper HKS on it and everything. Like those cars sound so good. So, yeah, they can for sure.
Where do you think the breakdown in communication comes? Like, why are those cars being modded? So, because that's the thing.
They're fucking cheap, man.
Yeah, exactly.
They've hit rock bottom for sure. Like, I guess they're starting to go up again now, especially manual cars. But yeah, they got like crazy cheap for a little bit there, and they're fast enough to party, and I don't know, man, cheap.
I feel like it was also the 2-door ones a lot, you know.
Yeah.
The 4-door ones were like, I want to go golfing and I can't afford a Lexus, but I want a Japanese luxury car.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like the 2-door one was just
the 2-door one was totally like a fuckboy car. Here it's I live in Surrey, which is the worst area of that thing. So every G35.
No, finish fully explain.
Was that fuckboyism?
That style.
Yes.
Fuckboyism?
So every G35 would have blacked out taillights and some shitty exhaust tips or maybe mufflers, and probably
they don't have mufflers.
Yeah, or
there's no mufflers.
Probably some blacked out the headlights in full tint, and obviously a thrown in 2 12-inch fucking subs in the back, just rattling the shit out of the license plate, and just so much fucking garbage. And obviously just driven at 800 miles an hour at all
everywhere.
Times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And automatic, probably most of them, you know what I mean? Fuck.
Hey, Blaine, you're in, you said Cambridge. Is that what you said? Cambridge?
Yeah. So I'm from Cambridge, which is 45 minutes west of Toronto. So no, that's where the smart people are from.
Yeah.
Gerard, shut up when other people are talking.
Sorry, man.
I'm just joking, Gerard. It's fine. You do you. All right. So you're 45 minutes from
Toronto.
Yeah, basically just out of Toronto, and I feel like everything within an hour of Toronto is just starting to get called the GTA, which is the Greater Toronto Area. So
yeah,
it's all just slowly every city gets a little wider out, and then they just eat each other, right?
They just touch. Yeah,
it's kind of the Greater Toronto Area now.
So GTA 5 or GTA 6?
That's a GTA 6 plus.
Oh man,
hasn't been updated in a while.
How close are you to a really good jerk chicken spot, a late night kind of,
jerk chicken? We're probably
or what kind of, I don't know, what kind of good chicken do you have from like the Caribbean side of things?
I don't
Or
know if
Trini.
we got a whole lot of Caribbean in this area.
No.
One of my good buddies is Trini though. So, I mean, I'll just
Yeah.
go to his house if we need it. So,
There you go.
that's the spot over there. My buddy Ravinda, like best food out there. So, but yeah, no, for that, you got to go into Toronto for the good Caribbean style.
Cool.
But I'm more into the fried chicken. So we got good fried chicken.
Oh yeah, fried chicken. Yeah, for sure.
We got good Korean fried chicken like 20 minutes away.
That's good.
That shit's nice. So yeah, can't go wrong with that. Coco's Chicken in Guelph for anybody who's local.
Nice.
Good. Now we got a real sponsor. We got a sponsor.
They'll probably actually sponsor you. So
that's pretty sick. We should get sponsored by Ravagers because their fried chicken's bomb too.
I can't eat any of that. Get out of
here. If you can get a sponsor from any fried chicken, that would be ideal. So,
dude, that'd be so sick.
I just balloon up.
Duffins. I mean, we could actually probably get sponsored by Duffins for sure.
Let's just start saying we're sponsored by Duffins.
We should just put Duffin stickers
Who would
on the
stop
car.
you?
That's like a really good idea. We should just put Duffin stickers on the cars.
Yeah, there you go.
If you come in with like a whole Duffin's car, would they just like, do you think they'd just give you free stuff?
I mean, probably. Yeah.
Maybe.
I mean, we know the owner or the manager. So he's like actually
have him, man.
a
Just
drift
try
guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duffins, we've talked about it on the podcast, but Duffins is like a local donut shop.
I mean, it's more than a donut shop. It's like a donut, bubble tea, fried chicken, torta, pupusa, everything shop.
But you could also like
hot dogs.
You could also get like 2 eggs sunny side up with like hash browns and bacon, 24 hours a day.
Yeah, name it, they got it.
They used to do ice cream. They used to do snow cones. They used to have a whole Chinese food counter too.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
it just looks like a regular donut shop on the inside, though. Like it looks pretty. Like it's not. It looks like I don't know.
It's very unassuming from the outside.
Yeah, you only see donuts and fried chicken. That's all you see is donuts and fried chicken, which is basically like.
But it is a staple. It's a staple in the car scene. I
mean, that's enough to lure me in. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of enthusiasts around here all have Duffins like sweaters because they started making merch, and then they people wear that. And like I said, let's people know that you know.
Anyway. Yeah.
But like, hey, actually, as a side, because I've said this before, so I'll be quick. Kevin and Gerard, you guys used to hang out there after you did car stuff in Vancouver.
Mm-hmm.
Was it always if you were to look back, were there like older car guys than you there?
I mean, I don't know. We might not have known they were car guys. You know what I'm saying? They just old ass dudes or whatever.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's to this day you go there. There's always seems like there's one kind of almost cool car there.
Yeah.
It's just because I've heard stories of the younger guys sitting there and it's and then Kevin and Gerard were there after, and it's like, oh yeah, and then that switched. So anyway, the baton gets passed. But then I was wondering, was the baton passed to you by someone? It sounds like you just.
I used to go to Eastbot, which is the
Richmond
billiard cafe, and you would see the craziest shit there all the time. We would just wait till 11 p.m. and go there and just look at all the cool cars in the parking lot.
Richmond has always been crazy though, because Richmond's kind of the richer Asian, you know what I mean? So they would always have the shit that you wanted. They would have the modern cars that were brand new.
Jay's racing car, brand new.
Yeah, you want to see a BMW that looks like it's straight out of Japan, it's there. You want to see a Lamborghini with fucking livery and $10,000 wheels, it's there. You know what I mean?
It's you want to see every single spoon part for a car.
Yeah, and not only that, there's 3 cars that have it all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
It's not even one.
The Integra Civic and S2000 at the time.
Yeah,
fully spooned out.
Yeah.
Okay, but here's what
that's pretty much Markham of this area. So
yeah, that's cool.
I was about
Richmond
to
and Markham. Yeah, exactly. So Markham is the Richmond.
That's cool.
Okay.
Is that where
there? So
what's it called? Peter Pang. What's that shop?
Yeah,
called?
next mod.
Next mod.
Yeah. So they're out in Markham. So they've got crazy reputation. Peter's a great dude. Crazy cars out of that shop. Same with the shop they're kind of partnered with is APH. And
Okay.
they got some insane cars out there. So
That's cool, man. I haven't been out to Toronto in like, I don't even know how long it's been, but yeah, it'd be kind of cool to like cruise around there.
Yeah, come out, man.
Let's do that at some point.
That'd be cool. Yeah, for sure.
I actually want to know more about the Toronto car scene. I know that it's like it's a big car scene. It must be. I don't know, but I don't like. I literally don't know anything about it. Like I couldn't.
I don't either.
Which is just a weird divide. Like,
what's the closest US sort of connection you guys have? New York, right?
Yeah. Like where I live, I'm like an hour and 10 minutes out of like the border at New York, Niagara Falls.
Oh wow, that's sick, dude.
Yeah. So we're super close to New York, and then which puts us like real close to Buffalo. Which I mean, I don't know, nothing crazy going on in Buffalo, but like the rest of New York's got some stuff going on.
Yeah.
And then I mean, from where we are, we're also like 3 and a half hours to Detroit. So, which I don't know if Detroit's really got anything.
I was going to say, what happens in Detroit?
You just go drifting probably because there's like tons and tons of abandoned ass areas.
I thought Detroit was back on the come up.
Oh, they on the come up?
I mean, I've watched some documentaries, but it was more about like the food and other things. I have no idea what they do with cars in Detroit. So,
White Castle behind bulletproof glass is about my recollection of Detroit recently. So I'm not really that into it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Gas station with 1-inch thick plexi. Yeah, pretty much, right?
You can only pump $50 and you got to leave.
Yeah.
They ran like a drift event out on the streets there at one point. I remember that, like Midwest drift
in Detroit.
Like it was like it was like straight up like. They just closed down a street.
Didn't even need a permit or anything.
I was gonna say, they didn't close down that
streets. Yeah. It's called
that street was already closed.
Yeah. They just sent out RoboCop to deal with it. You know.
Was RoboCop from Detroit?
Oh yeah, he's from Detroit.
Is he? How do you know?
Sick.
I'm pretty sure he is. I'm gonna fact.
I feel like I can't remember what city it is. So.
It becomes like a different thing, but I think it is. Like,
he moves around because there's so much crime elsewhere.
No, he's
needed.
It's run by that RoboCop set in. You guys talk amongst yourselves. This is important to me.
Well, now you got us all hanging on the edge of our seat.
Why?
We need to know where RoboCop's from, man.
RoboCop is set in crime-ridden Detroit. And
sick. Okay. In the near future, so they weren't wrong at all.
No.
Yeah.
They were very, very right, actually.
It's got Red from that 70s show as a villain in the first one.
What the fuck?
And then the second one.
Is that the one where they hide underground, you know? What's that one? That movie's fun.
That's Demolition
Man. Demolition Man.
Yeah. Yo, do you remember the movie?
That movie's so good.
Not Starsky and Hutch. The one where they had that crazy truck. Oh man, no, it's Tango and Cash, maybe.
Yeah, but that's Kurt Russell and
yeah. But
Stallone,
then in the end, because I watched that
crazy?
movie when I was a kid, and I was like, yo, that truck was so nuts and stuff. But I look back now, if you Google like Tango and Cash, I think we did this one time, Kevin and I were like, yo, it's like some shitty like Chevy truck that they added just like a thing to make it look aerodynamic and stuff, and it's such a poor job. But as a kid, you're kind of like, oh, this is so cool, kind of like we were talking about Airwolf being like the craziest helicopter, but it's just like a regular ass helicopter.
I looked that up after.
With like fake missiles on it.
Kevin, I just want to know, did you mistake Demolition Man for RoboCop?
No, I didn't. That's why I knew it was a different movie. So I was like, what's this other movie that
Yeah, and then Taco Bell's the only restaurant chain that
Well, I wanted to know what city does that movie, Demolition Man take place?
Oh, I don't think that's in Detroit. I think that's
Demolition Man's a dope movie.
Yeah, it's great. It's great in it. He's a blast from the past, and then Stallone yells like, "You should have stayed there." Anyway, doesn't matter. now we're a '90s action podcast. Hey Blaine, what's your favorite '90s action?
Yeah,
God.
One last fun RoboCop fact for you: RoboCop 2 was written by Frank Miller because there was a writer's strike, so they brought in a comic book writer to write it. So anyway, fun fact, everyone.
Demolition Man is actually in San Angeles, which is just a combination of all the best cities in California.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That's pretty cool.
San Angeles. I like
And
it.
they have the shells
Uh,
instead of toilet paper.
Los
Man, I know
Santos.
too much about them.
No, that
Oh,
one's
and then
that's
nobody
the
knows
best
what
one.
to do with the shells, right?
Only
He
he
doesn't know.
He doesn't
and
know.
And then he goes to the swear machine and swears a lot and uses that.
Yeah.
Now I'm just telling people what happens in old movies, which is very embarrassing.
Very
all right.
fantastic movies.
So, Blaine.
Okay, so while we're on the old movie thing, it's like Blade,
uh,
and then what's the other one with Vin Diesel where he has like the fucked up eyes?
Riddick.
Chronicles of
Riddick.
Chronicles
Okay,
of
so I've
Riddick,
never
dude.
seen,
But-
and I was like, fuck, these movies are so stupid. And then I can't remember, like, it was like not too long ago, but not like too recently. I remember it was on, so I watched it and I was like, and that was like not a bad movie, man. Like Riddick,
So-
like it's kind of funny. Like,
Pitch Black is the first one.
okay.
And then it's
Yeah.
like Chronicles of Riddick. And then it's like, it's like a series. Vin Diesel, I think, is like actually like really nerdy and just pretends to be like cool. I don't know. I love Vin Diesel.
Isn't
getting into,
every
like-
actor pretending to be something?
Well, I mean,
called
That's what
his
makes them
job.
great.
Yeah. But I think he also lies about his height. I might have to edit that out. But like he wears like.
Why do you have to edit it out?
Yeah,
He's
he's
get mad
okay.
at you.
Vin Diesel's gonna come
Vin
kill
Diesel's
you.
coming
You
for-
Go, Ryan.
I don't want to be liable for that shit.
He's got
Vin
like the Tom
Diesel's
Cruise
got-
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
Except
always wearing
not as
Timberlands.
nice.
They have to film always like him in the foreground and everyone else in the background.
Yeah.
He's got those
It's in his
He's
contract.
not,
in his
he's not
shoes.
even really that big. That's why
Yeah.
he's just so close
He's
to the
not
camera.
really that big.
He's
Yeah,
just
he's
really-
not. I think we've talked about this, and it's like in the contract that the characters can't lose a fight in those
What?
in the Fast and the Furious. Like they can't lose a fight to each other in the Fast and the Furious. Like Vin Diesel, like Dom can't lose a fight on screen. Like it can never be written that he gets beaten.
Well, if he
Like,
loses,
something
he gets
has to
arrested
stop.
usually, right? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, that's true.
But
it's
like
not-
The Rock isn't gonna kick Vin Diesel's ass. Like anyway.
there's rules for every character. You create Spider-Man, and it's like he can never do this. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Like
No, but that's
Dominic
different.
Toretto is a
Spider-Man can
character.
lose.
Dominic
Yeah,
Toretto
but
is
he
a
can
character, and
lose.
he can never
Spider-Man
lose.
can lose a fight. Spider-Man can lose a fight.
What
Anyway,
happens when
doesn't
Spider-Man
matter.
loses the fight? He goes home, takes his fucking spandex off, and cries himself to sleep, or what?
But have you never watched a
Spider-Man's like a fake
superhero movie?
person. Like, huh?
Really? I thought it was a documentary
No,
with
I
three
just
different
mean,
people.
like, I mean,
How did
like,
they have
does
three
Spider-Man
different
actually
actors?
have fucking powers? Like, he's just like a
You
normal
mean
dude.
there aren't other dimensions that are all connected to each other?
I just mean Superman is like,
I mean, I would think there are.
supposedly has like superpowers and shit. Whereas
Well,
like,
he lives in
Spider-Man is just-
Metropolis. That's not even a real city. Spider-Man has powers. This is the worst
he looks just like New
one
York.
we've
though.
ever done. Yeah. Well, hey, fun fact.
That was very harsh and insulting. to our
Metropolis.
guest.
Yeah. It's not his fault that we're dumb. Back on topic, as you said, Superman. I think Metropolis is based on Toronto, actually, because the creator. So, yeah, I think so.
Cats are yellow.
Brian's a wealth of information about old movies.
That's not even a movie. That's a fictional
movie.
character.
Okay, what are
Not to be.
old pop culture stuff? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, not to be confused with the real life character that I believe is Spider-Man. Apparently, bring me pictures of him. Bring me Spider-Man. You know, I'm just J. Jonah
Anyways,
James. said that.
Metropolis,
All right.
Toronto.
Yeah, I just want to hear about the car scene in Toronto.
Okay, thank you.
Honestly, I don't know where the
Yo,
car
so
scene
anyway.
is right now.
Yeah, no, we really derailed.
Yo, so
All right.
what day did you put your cars away last year, and what day did you bring them out, or have you brought them out? You probably haven't brought them out.
It kind of goes like which one's the most expensive to insure. So they kind of go away sequentially, I guess.
Yeah.
But we drove most of them till like pretty much the end of November. And I mean, we got stuck in a little bit of snow with some of those cars, but yeah, pretty much end of November's kind of the cutoff. And then December just gets so crazy busy that we don't try and put anything away, right? So try and get it done before then. And then it all depends on the year, right? Like sometimes we're warm and like good to go by March. So I'll bring out one or two of the cars early to mid-March when we get that kind of like that weird like 15-degree snap where we're like, oh, it's so nice compared to snow.
Yeah.
But yeah, usually mid to late March is kind of where I go. And then like all the cars are usually out by, like fully by June.
How many
So,
cars do you
depends
have
on-
insured at one time?
Well, it depends which cars, right? Like, I mean, the Q45s are all under classic insurance. So they're paid once a year for nothing. And like, I've got limited mileage on them. I can't drive them certain ways and so on and
Yeah.
so forth. But I mean, like typically, like right now, we've got the E90, the GX470, and the manual swap Q45 on the road under my normal insurance. And like I'll still drive that thing in the snow and everything here and there. So, but yeah, it all depends on what's going on with it, and if I've got wheels for them or I'm modifying different things on the cars. So it can be anywhere from 4 to 5 cars to
the insurance out there. I'm assuming is quite a bit cheaper than out here. Sounds.
I honestly, I thought your insurance was cheap for a little while, but I'm hearing different things now. I feel like your right-hand drive insurance is cheaper than ours. Maybe. But yeah, like I mean, for the Blit, I have to go to like Specialty Insurance, which is a company called Facility, and they're basically like they handle like DUIs and like people with multiple accidents type shit. So like me with a clean record at 31 years old, I've basically got like $185 a month on the Blit.
That's about right. Yeah.
Okay. So that's not too bad. But like my other cars, I mean, my other cars are like dirt cheap. Like everything else that's like normal left-hand drive car and like isn't insured for a bunch of money is like under $100 a month, which is nice.
Oh wow!
But they're also really like they're also old cars, right? So I mean, like their replacement isn't huge on them and everything. And then the classic insurance on the Q45s is dirt cheap, like under $300 a year. So
wow,
yeah. But like you are limited, right? Like you can't commute in it, and like there is some stipulations to it. So,
but are you able to modify those? Because I know we have like collector's insurance too. You can get, you can do like a few mods here and there, but like if they find out your car is like fully not classic, you know what I mean? They'll pull the insurance.
Really depends on the insurance company. Like the company I'm with, which is Zera Insurance. Those guys fully got an appraisal of my green car in the way that it looked, with the paint done, the wheels on it. Like they saw the car for what it was, and they still approved that insurance with full classic. So they know about that at least.
That's cool.
I don't know how much they know about the red one, which is the manual swapped one. Yeah. But as far as I know, they know it's modified. So I mean, they saw the appraisal.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, we don't even have that then here. That doesn't exist here because there's basically collectors, which is like, like a collector's type, classic vehicle. And
right.
I think you can have like wheels and like lowered and like a few, things here and there, and then regular ass insurance. Yeah.
Do you guys not have Haggerty out there?
Oh man, we have ICBC one. We have
it's ICBC. Like like court, like insurance monopoly or whatever.
Monopoly.
Oh damn. Okay. So yeah, no, I guess we've got it better than you. So
absolutely.
Yeah. I always thought we had shit insurance in Ontario. I mean, I'm out of the city too.
Things, so.
Yeah. I mean, if I was like further into the GTA, like I know Brampton Insurance which is like a city. It's part of the GTA north of Toronto. If you're down there, like a normal car is like $250-$300 a month.
Wow.
So like just one regular car, clean record type thing, which is nuts.
Jeez. So it's different areas insured differently?
Yeah.
Same,
well, I mean,
with us.
If you're more prone to getting a collision,
right,
or more cars get stolen there.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, that's a vast difference, like $100 to $300. That's
it's nuts. It's nuts.
3 times the amount.
I think the E90 is like $75 a month or something like that.
Oh wow. Yeah, my E87 just it's $165 a month, but because I just transferred the insurance from the Infinity, the Q45 or the QX56, my truck.
Yeah.
And that was like $230 or something a month because it's 2012 and it's like a big ass, expensive truck.
True. Yeah. The replacement value on it's significantly higher, right? So.
Yeah. And then the BMW is like, I don't know, the declared value is like $9,000 or something. So yeah, it's only like $165 a month, but still that seems expensive for kind of like a shitty car. You know what I mean? So
yeah. All of my cars are less than your car, Gerard.
So that's Surrey tax.
All of your cars are less than my car.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. All combined. What?
I don't pay more than no. I said not combined.
Okay.
None of my cars are over 100 and
right, but your 4Runner is like a 91 or something.
But also
not
can
a
depend
91.
On,
what
it
are
also
you talking
depend
about?
on coverage. Like it depends on your coverage too.
Yeah, I'm to and from work over 15K, and also that's a 2007 car.
Right, dude.
But then also, Gerard could have like $5 million liability. You know what I mean?
Yeah, $5 million liability.
$3 million.
Oof.
just in case,
That's some anticipation insurance.
Yeah, what are you doing? That's for when Gerard races a Lamborghini to get him to rev his engine.
It's more for when you like hit a van and there's like a bunch of kids who now need like medical life or care for their life. And that's way over
Kevin,
3.
don't rain on my parade.
What year is your Prius?
2010.
It's a
And then how much is
they
the
just,
Prius?
they just give you insurance.
Yeah, I know. They're like
100.
Here you go, bro.
They know you can't get fast enough.
Yeah, but the risk like 121, and that's with like the Roadstar, like so I can get insurance on a whatever car when I'm rental car. When
I mean, my insurance used to be super cheap, man. I had in the past like 5 years, I've had more accidents than in my entire driving career. So
I think that's probably what
the only one. I don't think any of them have affected it yet, though. Like maybe one, but that was like a free one. Like how like when you've been driving for so long, you get one free accident or whatever.
Freebie. Yeah.
Everybody gets one.
So I got that one, and I think the last one, which I just when I came home from Costa Rica and like fucking tapped the back of like some car in traffic. Right. That one I think is going to affect my insurance, but I don't think that'll affect it until I reinsure, which is in like March or something. But anyways,
I also want to say that like if it's insured if the car is owned by the company, I swear your rate doesn't really affect it as much as well.
Yeah. You mean it's cheaper, or you mean like the
tax loophole?
Yeah, I think it's cheaper.
Yeah. But then none of these cars are insured under the company. Yeah, these are all my personal ones.
Yeah, I know.
Mm.
Yeah, the Blit is insured. I don't know what the Blit costs a month. It's pretty cheap, I think.
Probably 120.
Yeah, it's less than because the Blit's only at 2001 or something.
Yeah.
And they don't know what the fuck that thing is. They think
the Aristo's like 120 some. Like all of mine are in like the 120.
Yeah, it's probably about that.
99 Forerunner, Gerard. I don't have like I've been 90.
What did I say? It's 90, whatever.
91.
Same
That's
shit.
Not like
before 2000.
It's not. It's not the same shit.
It's only one generation back, though, isn't it?
Yeah, but the generation before had that shit.
I mean, that's a decade, basically.
Yeah, that is. That's just, that's
is it a Nissan truck? No, then I don't care.
You're ridiculous.
Anyways, let's go. Like, what's the question again? Are you
we never got there.
Yeah, we never got there. It took me a while to find it. I did, but I got it back. Crocodile Dundee always has great questions for us, and I adore it. So here we go. Hello, got a podcast question for you. What's a car with a following you don't understand the appeal of? Why people like them? Why people mod them? Or why people mod them the way they do? So what is a car? So we'll start with that. And I wonder if we can find an alignment from that's like across the board, or maybe it's different in Ontario. And so like, yeah, I enjoy the juxtaposition that maybe we might uncover. Does anyone have a car that they don't understand? Gerard, hit it.
Ford Focus.
I was going to say Pintos.
I used to have a Pinto.
Yeah, he knows. He's listened to the podcast.
All right.
Focus is just the new Pinto.
It's a newer Pinto, right?
Basically.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's not rear-wheel drive. Like, Pinto, I mean, a Focus. Okay,
I mean, so Corollas are front-wheel drive now, too.
I don't see that many people modding Focuses around here. When you do see a modded Focus, though, it's sure as fuck got a burble.
I was gonna say it sure as fuck sucks. Like every time I see a modded Focus, I'm like fuck that thing. It sucks. Like you could make it look cool, but like they never look cool.
I can agree. I would say the Focus RS ST crowd is not it. I don't know.
No?
I've never seen one that I've been in love with. So
I want to say like Mazda 3s.
Same car. The same fucking car.
Yeah, you're right. But like
yeah,
fuck them.
Is that what I think? Is that the car that
at least like Mazda speeds are at least like fun to drive, but
yeah,
I'm sure the RS is fun to drive. I'm sure the
I don't know. You can't outrun that look.
If I see a Focus and it has like fucking mud flaps, I'm just like, Kill yourself. Like
Gerard.
Why didn't you just
Rally
buy a
set.
Subaru though?
yeah, and
Like
it's
you
like,
wanted a
so,
Subaru. It's clear you wanted a Subaru. You put rally.
so then
on it.
you're it's
Why
okay
did
to
you buy
have the
a
mud
Subaru?
flaps if you have a Subaru.
But
I feel like that's
didn't K
it's
Block
fine.
But then you got
didn't
to
K
be
Block have
pigeonholed.
a Focus?
Sorry.
No, didn't Ken Block have a Focus?
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah,
he can't block. He had a Fiesta.
Yeah,
I
If
think
he
he had
drive
Focus.
anything, it'd be cool.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was gonna say.
RIP.
Plus, he's sponsored by Ford, so like he
Yeah,
can just
but
have
that's
any.
But
why
that's what I
people-
mean. So like, there's probably a million kids who are like, "Oh, I'm going to get a Focus."
That's the
I
whole
would be-
reason why they sponsor him.
Exactly.
Like that's why that.
Yeah, because
happened.
they can't sell those cars without Ken Block.
This might be why you guys don't have a sponsor.
Yeah, we're gonna
well, I figured that out early on when Gerard was only interested in Porsche.
It's a hard one to capture.
Yeah. Hey, Porsche. This is exactly why we don't have today's podcast is brought to you by the Focus.
Duffin.
Duffin Donut. I feel like the Mazda 3 is an easy one. And drifting Volvos, I just don't like drifting Volvos.
I mean,
No, there's no good-looking drifting Volvo.
yeah, there are.
Oh,
There are
I
for
don't.
sure.
You know what? I'm
Not
gonna.
around here.
Hang
Not
on.
around here.
I've taught myself a lesson, and I think
Yeah,
I know
you're-
what it is.
You're screwed now, Ryan.
Yeah. Here's the
At
lesson.
4:30
Here
in
it
the
comes.
morning.
Here it comes.
Bunch of
You know what,
Volvo
Gerard?
photos.
You're absolutely right. There are nice Volvos, and there's no need to send me photos of nice drifting Volvos. But Gerard's still sending me photos of Preludes. And what did I say to the last one?
Dude,
you
that
sent?
Prelude though, you should post that up and show. It was sick.
I almost sent you one the other day, actually, but
I hate
I
him.
chose not to.
That's my answer. The Prelude.
Send that one back to me, and I'll send. I think Blaine's probably seen it.
But I was talking about the same one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did
I mean,
say.
how many sick ones can there be?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
4.
It's a BB6, so
There are 4 in the whole world.
Is that Prelude
All
for
right.
sick?
And not simultaneously.
Okay. This is a great. Okay. I feel like we got that.
Oh, this
that
one on KF's looks cool.
This one's on.
God damn it!
What the
Why
hell
is
this
everyone
one?
living my nightmare right now?
I'm just
You
trying
just
to think of.
think
I'm
so.
trying to think of like a more legitimate answer. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because I'm a stance guy, so I figure like a lot of people would just be like, "Oh, stance cars are stupid." You know what I mean?
Right.
So like a lot of people like I don't understand why people would do that, but I'm down with that. So, and then I was like, what about those people who put like a V8 in their RX-7? And then I'm like, yeah, I'm down with that too. So I'm like, you know,
All right.
trying to think of something that I'm just like,
My answer is BMWs in general.
well,
I
honestly,
just got an axe to grind with Gerard tonight. That's my real problem.
Grind it up.
Not actually, Gerard.
I just sent you that Prelude link.
I sent you one too.
Oh, what?
Oh God.
I
Yeah,
missed
Look at
I
you.
sent you a white one
a white one.
on KF's. It looks pretty sick. I'm not a big KF guy, but like this thing's all right.
That's all right. Yeah.
All right. I
Gunmetal
got a
KFC.
follow-up question, unless Kevin's got another answer. Kevin's putting it into an AI bot to see if it'll tell him what car he doesn't like.
Anyway, it looks good when it's on the. It is a photo of it on the CR Kais. It's white on white at the.
Oh,
gas
what?
station. Yeah, it looks good.
That might be the one to turn Ryan.
That's a
No.
good look.
I don't see it
Ryan's
on the
never
cars, just
doing
saw on
it.
the-
I will. This is the hill I die on. It's right there.
Oh, you're right. Look at that.
Yeah.
Why
that
are we
looks
talking
good.
about Prelude?
Woo. Oh, the
You
All right.
brought
fitment
it
just-
up.
The
Yeah,
bumper
buddy.
fitment just
Yeah,
yeah,
killed me,
buddy, you're
but-
screwed.
Yeah, I really did this to myself.
Hey, Ryan. Ding
Hey,
ding.
Gerard. Oh, you son of a bitch. The guy's name is
They're both
Kelvin
sick.
Lude. Yeah, all right. Here we go. This is a better introductory question. This is the one that I wanted to get to. And then he followed it up by saying, oh, and I have a wholesome one. What's your first memory with cars? And the thing is I think the three of us have all done this.
Mhm.
So we
I
can
gotta
do it
think,
quickly
yeah.
again to reiterate. So you think, ignore what we've said. Just ignore us because we can rehash it out.
As usual.
Gerard, you go first. Your first memory with cars.
Oh, just a quick one. Oh, just to like rehash it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I lived in literally buttfuck nowhere, Manitoba. Actually, I guess I had two. I'm just trying to think which one's the first one or which one's the more. Should I go with the first one or the more memorable one?
I'm going to go with the most memorable one, but you can do whatever you want because you're going to tell them the Winnipeg one, right?
I was going to tell the Winnipeg one, but I was going to maybe I'll tell the one where there's like the one dude in my town who just had like the most ridiculous cars ever, and I would hear them start up from my house and fucking ride my bike. So yeah. Anyways, I lived in a little tiny town in Manitoba, 2,500 people or something like that, and then there's
one dude had the craziest cars ever, and when he would fire them up, you'd go ride your bike.
Yeah, but there was like literally nothing in that town, nothing ever. But there was one dude, it was like a kind of an Asian dude, and he had like this big ass house with this like big ass garage. I had no idea what he did because like nobody really had that. But like not only did he have that, he had the cars that went in it, and they were like, in my opinion, like crazy level cars. So he had like a Nomad and like so it's like a 55 Chevy wagon, but it was like like the huge Mickey Thompson Sportsman tires with like the blower out the hood, and like it was like fucked up crazy. And like especially as a kid, you see something like that and you're just like what on earth is that? And then so like beside that, he had another car which was like equally fucking crazy. I can't remember what it was, probably Chevelle or some other old muscle car. But yeah, they were just so wild. And like it had wheelie bars and shit. Like it was like a proper hot rod that wasn't just like kind of nice. It was like straight out of a magazine. And so anyways, yeah, I would just, every time that those cars would fire up or every time I'd ride my bike and see if he had them outside, he was washing them, whatever. And yeah, centerline auto drags, Mickey Thompson Sportsman, skinnies on the front, wheelie bars, blower out the hood. It was just like everything a kid could possibly want. And it was awesome. Maybe that's why I love wagons. You know what I mean? So
probably.
Yeah.
Kevin, if I wonder if I remember this. Is it that you had a cousin or a friend and someone owned a Mustang? Was that the first one or no? Did I make that up?
Yeah. I mean, that's that. I must have told that story, but yeah, it's like a pretty fond memory, or yeah, vivid memory. But yeah, I don't know. Everyone just says that like from the time I was like 2 or something, everything I would just touch, I would just pretend it was a car, like just driving it around. You know what I mean? But yeah, that like I remember, going for rides in that fucking Fox Body Mustang, which probably was like nothing special, but like
I had a muffler.
Yeah, exactly. Or it didn't. Had no muffler.
Yeah.
What I mean? Like, but yeah,
nice.
That was sick. And then also just like similar kind of memories to that. Like I didn't have a guy in my neighborhood who had a car like that, but like every time you'd see one, like because like you know in Steveston people would like bring their nice cars sometimes and drive around, and like you'd see cars like that and like just you're like holy shit. Like,
all right, I got 2 distinct memories and I've told one and I don't think I've ever said the other one. But it's not still like my first memory of cars, but it's like of loving cars. So the first one I think that like really set me on my course was my older brother was into cars. He was friends with people in the local speed shop at the time, which was called Mobile Accessories. I've talked about this before. There was like a 92 GSR, like a Del Sol, maybe not at that point, but like a Civic Hatch. And then they were engines. Some of them were like engine swapped, but like back in the day, at that point, I would have been in elementary school. So this would have been pre-2000s. So even before like all the trends really, really blew up. And I don't know if my brother was like the only white guy that hung out with him or what, but he had a barbecue at my parents' house and like all these cars came and they lined the street. And I think if you looked back now, you'd probably be like, oh, those cars are kind of weird. But like at the time, they were very like pioneering, revolutionary. And as like a 12-year-old or 11-year-old or whatever I was at the time, maybe even 10, like you'd never seen anything like that. And I think me and my buddy like set up lawn chairs and just sat in the front and like stared at these cars for a long period of time. And so that's my one memory. And then I was thinking about this because I read the question a few days ago, so I get time to cheat. And I'm also of the age that like when the Toyota Supra, like the 90, like in 96 and 97 or whatever, when they were like actually advertising those cars for sale in magazines to be like, you could buy this car. Like I remember being in the library at my elementary school and like just staring at the back of magazines being like, oh, this car is amazing. Like the Toyota Supra. And like, that was when they had the, did we say Celica or Celica? I never remember which one we say, but regardless, and they had that version on the back as well. And I was like, oh, one day I'll have one of those cars. And as a kid, I remember trying to like figure out how I would like get enough money to buy one of those cars for my first cars, like an idiot. But those are my two memories of falling in love with specifically like import cars. All right, Blaine, we ran down the clock for you. You're back in the game. What is your first memory of cars? What sets you on your course to become Blaine, the car-loving, righteous garage owning, bunny hug wearing Blaine?
I honestly can't say, to be honest. Like I can fully remember like going to like, we used to have like cruise nights at like Home Depots and stuff. They were like all classic cars and everything. My dad would take me out to those. My dad's like a 70s car guy, right? And despite owning a Z33 now, but I remember going out to those. So, and I mean, I can't like fully remember any of the one car of those, but I remember like fully going to those I think they're on every Tuesday, and they were impressive. But I can't think what actually put me on to like the Japanese stuff, to be totally honest. I don't know where that came from later. As like my first car was not Japanese. My first car was a Cadillac, and I never anticipated ended up in Japanese stuff at that point. But the next car was the G35, and I don't know what triggered that to be. Yeah, I don't know.
It was cheap, dude. Just kidding.
Yeah. But at the time, it wasn't.
Yeah, they weren't cheap.
Shit was expensive. Yeah,
for sure.
Like that thing was. Car. Yeah, I bought the car in like 2008, so it was only like 5, 6 years old. That would have been expensive. So, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know what pushed it.
I guess if you look at it, that timing would probably correspond with like kind of import cars. Be like, I think it became very easy as a younger person at that point, if you were like into cars, to like make the jump to import car culture because it
sure
super predominant. Like I got friends that were like, my first car was like a Chevette, and then or like a Neon, and then I got a 180. I'm like, that's a really big jump.
That's a weird progression.
Yeah, it's like that's a big jump to go from like some like weird shit boxes to importing a car you've never seen and into like yeah.
I mean, so the car I had right before my A86 was like a 2-door Ford Ranger though, and then before that it was like literally my first car.
Yeah, I was gonna say like
which I owned all three of them at the same time, like which is like a Mercury Zephyr, basically a Ford Fairlane. So I had a Fairlane and then a Ranger and then an A86. But
wild driveway.
We all have that Ford connection.
I
had all the Fords too. That was crazy.
I guess actually, sorry. My first car was a Mazda, which had like a partnership with Ford.
That's Ford, yeah. There you go.
Yeah. Well, but it didn't do it.
I also did think of one thing about car culture that I genuinely am like, I don't like it and I don't understand it. Which is squat trucks. Like if you want a brodozer truck, I'm okay with that. But like the squat truck, I don't get that. But.
It's like you can't make up your mind, bro. You want a slam truck and you want a lifted truck. So you just have both.
I mean, if it could articulate, that'd be sick.
Why don't they bag them?
Why can't they?
Because you can't get that much travel out of it. The front's
like
literally
put it on hydros then, like put a bunch in it. Like I don't know.
But yeah, isn't there that
there's a cool way to do those things?
Yeah, there's one crazy system that gives it like 4 feet.
But I feel like it's almost I feel like it's almost like it's like a static slam car. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you can put bags on it, this and that. It's like, or you could just have it be fucked up like that all the time. It's
But
probably like
at least that looks good, you know, a static
I
style
bet
car.
you.
I mean, it looks a certain way. Like people probably don't think hammered out fucking cars look good either, but like we think it looks sick. You know what I mean? And they're like, why don't you just raise it up so you can drive the fucking thing instead of scraping around on speed bumps all the time? And we're like, nah, we fucking never do that. Like, I want to drag my car, bro. Like they're like, all right, man. Whatever.
Blaine,
I can fully remember something here that I fondly remember of cars now, which
squad trucks.
It's very close. So we went down to Florida sometime in the late 90s, and like this is before people were stretching tires, right? So like I don't know, I would have been 8 or 9, 10 years old, and they had like literally like flush wheels, but no stretch tires, so they couldn't get the fitment like on point, right? So my dad called them pop-out wheels.
Oh,
years and years, like pop-out wheels is a big thing, right? It's like I fully remember that. And then when I started doing this stuff, like years later, my dad's like, yeah, it's kind of like pop-out wheels, but like not shitty. I was like, okay, that's kind of it. He's like, yeah, it looks cool instead of pop-out wheels. And I was like, yeah, that's it. And I don't know if that was just a Florida thing or if that was everywhere, but we noticed it most in like we were down there for Disney, right? So it would have been like Orlando area, but
nice.
Maybe that's a Florida thing. I'm not sure. We'll have to ask Toyota Rob.
It's like maybe it's Mexi Flush.
It's similar.
Yeah, it was literally literally Mexi Flush, which Florida does not. It's not Mexico, but they were trying. They'd seen it there.
I was gonna say
they got that Latin flavor, man. They skate.
Cubans.
I was gonna say
I'm talking about sandwich.
One of the trends that sort of came and went on like the muscle cars was when they would like jack up the back and stick out the rear wheels. Like I had models like that and shit. Like you'd have the shackles that had like, you know, the extra notches and stuff, or the extra holes, I mean. So you could put it on like the highest one and then stick out the wheel, like have
like double wide wheel, basically.
Just like super fucked up wide, just rear wheels, and like it's jacked, like kind of like those Japanese cars, but like not so like this.
But maybe that's from the like guys not actually shortening axles back then, right? Like people go to different rear end to fit bigger tires and everything.
But maybe it just looked cool because it's kind of aggressive, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe that's probably
it's probably what like someone did it for a practical reason like that. In the beginning, they're like, "Oh, I need a stronger axle, and this axle's wider, and now I have to like do this." And then someone's like, "Yo,
my wheel sticks out 4 inches."
Yeah, and then someone was like, "Yo, that shit looks sick." And then they just
it kind of does.
For no, exactly. That's how.
But also, like back then,
all
too,
things
like,
are, you know.
You could have like it was like a thing to like show the traction bars. You know what I mean? You'd have chrome traction bars underneath on the leaf springs and shit. And then even you'd have the wheelie bars. So you'd have wheelie bars, traction bars, and all that shit would be chrome, and you would fully be able to see it because the car was jacked up.
And then you have
chrome shackles.
You'd obviously
chrome leaves.
Chrome diff cover.
Yeah, chrome diff cover. Yeah. I remember building that model.
That just morphed into the Honda guys doing polished K-frames and stuff and like scraping the shit out of them.
Exactly. Exactly.
All right. Yeah, I was gonna say I imagine even with like the squat trucks, all it takes is like one guy who's like probably respected in the scene that was like, I did something crazy, and then everyone else is like
it's crazy how popular it is though. You know what I mean? You'd think that like that look is so kind of like fucked up, but like it's seemed to be popular. You know what I mean? Like,
do you have them out there?
No.
Okay. I was gonna say like I think I've maybe seen like 1 or 2 in my life over here. So
it just seems like on the internet,
a southern
it seemed like a pretty big, it seemed like like a thing, you know.
I mean, it feels like if you follow that subculture, then it's probably a huge thing.
Yeah. Blaine, what is a popular car in your car scene, or like has everything kind of like, is it just the same across the board now because of the internet? You know, like, do you think like, what do you see when you go out to events?
I feel like because of what I work in, I build wheels for every type of car out there, right? So like I feel like there's no one car that really is like the prime customer that keeps coming back and like gets the whole team on board kind of thing. They're all pretty well spread, I guess. So there's not one car that I see like an abundance of. I mean, G35s a few years ago were like everywhere. Honda Genesis for a little bit while were like,
those things they were really popular at some. I don't totally get it. Like they were kind of cool, but like,
I don't know. I like the 3.8 version of them a little more because they're basically just like a
G35.
G35. But I don't know. I've never been huge on them. I know the second generation, like the BK2, which is like the one with like the big open grill and everything like that.
Yeah.
I've seen a couple of those that I'm super impressed with. A couple local cars that I know that are like actually
some of those like look nuts.
Yeah, so some of them are pretty crazy, but I feel like a lot of those guys are just putting the same wide body flare kit on and like throwing 14-inch wide wheels and just calling it a day, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like I don't know, it's not for me personally, but yeah, there's a lot of those out here for sure. It's definitely a Hyundai thing. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have that many Hyundais out here that are modded. I think at one point there was like a little bit, but like they're just all gone.
All they do is the blow off valve. That's the only mod they do.
Yeah. They do like to blow up though too. So I mean that could be helping that.
Yeah.
Time bomb.
Like it feels like that should have been like a cheap drift platform, you know, but you never see people drifting those.
They still do. Yeah. They still do. I mean, Drift HQ has one.
Yeah.
Yeah, Genesis.
We should look into that. Maybe we'll get Gerard one and he can make that be a thing.
Nope, not a Hyundai.
Yeah, Gerard, that's what you're doing now. Gerard, you had a Hyundai, you had a pony or whatever. So you're
I had a pony that was free and I fucking sold it to get an RX-7. So like,
okay.
Like it was given to me as like a.
That seems like a good deal.
Yeah, exactly.
That person did like
I literally drove it like
upcycled.
My uncle dropped it in my driveway and I drove it to the dealership to trade it in. So I was like, yeah, see you later.
Blaine, what type of car events do you go into out there? Like what, if you were to look at what the next season, the car season has in store for you, what type of things are you doing?
Well, I mean, like last year was our first year back to like non-COVID car stuff. And I feel like now I've been so distant from it for the last 3 years, I guess, or two years at that point, that there's just like not really anything that's really caught my attention. I go to more track days than anything. We're aiming to go to Grid Life this year, the one in Michigan. So I think that's like early June, which should be pretty cool. And I think we're just going to go and drink beers and hang out, and rather than actually take cars to try and crash them. But I think that's on the radar. Gatlinburg in Tennessee has always had my interest.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is all American stuff, right? I was affiliated with Fitted, which was formerly known as Stretch and Poke, which is kind of our fitment show out this way. And it's recently changed hands. The brand and everything has sold to Import Expo, and Import Expo is pretty massive, right? So they've kind of stretched it out. They're now doing Fitted all through the US as well as I think UK and everything too.
Yeah, I've seen Fitted UK.
Yeah. So I mean that has nothing really.
How do those things grow? Like how does that like it generates money solely through maybe a bit of merch and like just ticket sales for events?
Well, like I mean when we got on board with Fitted, like I said, it was formerly known as Stretch and Poke. Stretch and Poke was literally like a meetup at Dave and Buster's, and like this was like I think 2009 or 2010, and like there was like 12 cars there that were like properly slammed and aggressive, right? And but back then, nobody was doing that shit like the hella flush look, right?
Mm-hmm.
And originally started by my buddy Dave, who had like the first ever Canadian hella flush featured car, right?
Okay.
And that whole thing just kind of morphed, and like I guess when it becomes a meet, you've got to kind of change it into a show. Yeah, you got to you got to make it a show in order to actually like obviously profit from it or be able to do the next one, right? So it kind of turned into its own show, and then it started doing trophies and everything like that. And then over the years, just kind of progressed into this bigger and bigger thing. And I guess just through ticket sales of it, I mean, general admission had to pay to get in to see the cars. The cars that were in it had to pay to get in. And then, merch sales and everything. It just kind of rolled itself along. And it became something that Dave was able to sell to the guys at Import Expo. So
that's cool, man.
Yeah, worked out good for him. And I mean, I still wish we had some kind of like OG fitment community that we used to have through the Stretch and Poke guys, which we don't really have. There's still like a lot of us that still talk from that like original like 12 years ago, 13 years ago meet. But it's not the same as it was. That's for sure.
Yeah. I feel like Ontario does very well at the like car show scene.
Yeah,
like,
I feel like there's more people.
Yeah, it seems way bigger.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people. I mean, I don't even know what the population of the GTA is anymore. I think it's 13, 14 million in that like surrounding area of it, right? Huge. So like it's significantly bigger than most places in Canada. More comparable to most of the US.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think with a lot of that stuff, it's like it's big enough now that enough people are going to come. There's enough cars that are going to apply and do all that, right? So
Right.
That's cool.
yeah.
How many car shows do you get out there? Like in a season, like what is a?
In all honesty, if you want to like go out and like go to like every show, there's 1 to 2 every weekend for sure.
Wow.
It just depends on the quality you want to go to. Right?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah, there's something going on every weekend. Am I going to every single one of them? Hell no. But like there's definitely something to do. If you're into cars and you want to go and see that shit every single weekend, there's something.
That's cool.
Right. But like I would say like once a month, there's something you really want to go to. I mean, in terms of the drifting side of things, there's probably at this point, there's probably 1 event a month now. So if not 2, because we've got a number of different spots that are opening up, a little bit of stuff that's a lot west of Toronto. So that's been a little harder for the guys in the GTA, but they're getting there. So
how big is drifting out there?
Pretty big, man. Like, I mean, I know you guys know the guys from Drift Jam and everything, and Jover and those guys do pretty much an event a month. We're limited to tracks like you guys are, so it's not easy. But I mean, there's some spots that are opening up. Like I said, the going west, like towards Windsor, which is like the Detroit border. There's lots of stuff opening up down that way that actually has accessibility. So
cool.
I mean, if you're willing to leave Toronto to go and drive these spots, it's working out pretty good.
Yeah. So like grid life would be a thing that you would go to. It's not that far. For sure. But I mean, it is US. So I mean, that has a whole other aspect. I mean, especially. Most of the drifting Kevin and I did like back in the day was in the US. I mean, I think all of it was.
True.
So
but
where you make your bones. Yeah. Hey, yeah. Okay. Sorry. Finish your thought, then I'll have.
I don't know. Like we have a good amount of stuff in Ontario itself. But I mean, I feel like the big stuff. I mean, even by the time you get to grid life, which I think for us is probably like 5.5 hours, it's like just south of Grand Rapids. We're like half of the way to Chicago, right? At that point, you're pretty much on final bout territory, right? So if you really want to go to a drift,
you're in the heartland.
You might as well go, right? So
yeah, I mean, 10 hours isn't that far to go to fucking final bout for sure.
And I feel like final bout isn't even. It's south of Chicago, right?
No,
I've not been.
It's
in Milwaukee. It's not even.
It's north by like 4 hours.
It's 4 hours north of Chicago.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's probably for us. That's probably 12, 13 hours total.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we've got to go all the way down the lake, right? Like we've got to go all the way around and then up Chicago.
Right.
Yeah. It's a bit of a hike for sure.
Okay. Because there's that big stupid lake.
Yeah. It's a big old lake.
Just fly it.
Some might say it's great.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is it superior?
What makes it superior?
Its size.
What's so you have one of every 326 wheel. Are they all similar sizes, or do you got some like ridiculous shit, or like so they're interchangeable?
Pretty similar, yeah. We've got some weak spec stuff that I built when I bought when we had the E46 on adapters and everything. Now the E46 is 5-1-14 swapped, so that thing now takes proper wheels.
That's cool. Yeah, because you lose like 20 mil or something, or 15.
Exactly. Yeah, I think we had 15s on the E46 at the time. So yeah, we got pretty much everything kind of is interchangeable. Unfortunately, a lot of the 18-inch stuff can't fit on the G because of the big brakes. But most of the 18-inch stuff can all kind of interchange. An E46 and a Blit pretty much run the exact same specs, which is awesome. Mm-hmm. So that's nice. But pretty similar across the board through most of those wheels.
That's like a 9.5, 10.5, like 15 or something like that, plus 15 or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. We pretty much where we aim for most of that. 9.5, 10, and then 10.5, 11 in the back, and plus 10 to plus 25 is just kind of the nice spot.
Nice
for all those cars at least. So
yeah. It was so quiet, like just not saying anything.
No, I was looking at how close you are to Chicago, and I was like, "That's pretty cool."
Yeah,
but then I guess I like never like fucking look at a map because I'm an idiot, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that is you do."
How far am I to Final Bout?
11 hours.
That's actually fucking not far at all.
I mean, better than your drive, that's for sure.
That's a ways.
I mean, 11
That's
hours
like,
is
that's like driving to Portland and back.
yeah,
Oh,
but you're
okay.
Kevin,
going,
I love that you're saying that right now, given what we're about to do. You're like, that's quite a ways.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's a
is
short
it?
drive.
Is it?
yeah.
yeah,
I
11
fucking tried to
hours.
explain. Yeah. Tried
It's
to
a
explain
ways.
to people what I was like, regular folk, what you and I are about to do. And they're like,
Yeah.
oh, so you're not flying? And then I showed them a picture of your car. And for some reason, their response was, that'll be a cramped ride. And I'm like, will
That'd
it?
be crazy.
It's just like, oh, cramped. It's going to be really cramped in there. I'm like, is it? Is your, like, I don't,
It's not going to be
Not
loud.
really.
It's not going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be cramped.
yeah, I was like,
It's
no,
probably going
like,
to be all of them. It's probably going
Yeah,
to
I
be
know.
all three of them.
What I meant was like they're not
Yeah, I
saying
know.
any of that.
Yeah.
They don't know that
Yeah.
car's like fucking
No,
800
they don't
decibels
get it.
at idle.
yeah, they don't get it.
Yeah.
Also,
You really need
Kevin's
to buy
gonna-
a wagon.
I'm going to get a muffler. Yeah, I should get a muffler.
Can you put a silencer in it for when we drive? Is that a thing that we can do?
No,
Maybe just change
really.
the back half to put a muffler on.
That's what I'm saying. I should put a muffler. I'm
Just
like,
put that big black fucking thing I have on there. That would totally quiet it down.
yeah,
Well,
that thing.
I wanted to be dope when he drives it at a track. I just wanted.
Well, obviously, you would switch it once you get there.
If you just put them
Don't
both on a
fucking-
V band, you can just swap. them.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
All right,
Or
yeah,
slip
that's what I
joint,
want.
whatever.
You know what that's going to make the car? Cramped.
More crap.
What?
That'll
But I mean,
crimp
you're
the
only
back
gonna have
end.
a section of tube that's like this long versus a
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Strap it to the roof.
Yeah, you're getting a roof rack.
Got you there.
You got one, right?
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
I know.
Do you have a hitch on the car?
No, this
You
is
should put
instead
just
of
like a little
hitch.
hitch and put one of those carriers. You can fit a full set of wheels in the back there.
Nah, the problem is that like there's no way to really secure it so well, and then basically all the cars that have had that, like the rear end, like just kind of rips off
Yeah, that's true.
because it's a lot of weight. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I would probably just, if that was me, I'd just put a hitch on and then build a cool little trailer. Then you could put everything in a trailer.
but
The car
everything.
itself-
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, the car
Yeah,
itself
that's
just looks like a
great.
normal car.
Yeah,
We're past that point. We're leaving in like.
Don't you have a 17 Crown sitting on a container?
yeah.
You can just chop that shit in half and throw everything in it and put a hitch on it.
There you go.
There you go.
Mhm.
It's perfect.
Yeah, 'cause
Two
you
trunks.
can't drive it on the street. So you might as well.
That'll be yeah, exactly. You're not lying.
Pretty much the best case scenario. My buddy's got he used to have an Audi A4, like a B5.
I cut it.
A4.
I cut it at the B pillar so I could still have a door that like opened and closed too. You know,
Hell yeah. That'd be perfect.
right? That's for next year when I do my.
But you know
when
what
I
you
do
should get though?
my
They
17 drift car and I get rid of the
it should be a wagon because then it's enclosed and it's like basically a box.
Yeah, that is. And then you
Right.
can pop the thing. You can put
Yeah.
you can have
Yeah.
a tent that you can camp
Yeah,
on the
exactly.
wagon trailer. Yeah,
That'd be funny. You have a wagon with
Anyway.
a wagon trailer.
yeah.
All right. What were you saying, Blaine? Your buddy's got a Audi.
He had an Audi B5 years ago. He doesn't have it anymore, but he had a pretty cool B5. And then he chopped up another B5 and boxed it all in at the B pillar and made it a trailer. So it's
so
possible.
he
man.
had a B10.
Yeah. Well, it was only a half a B5, so that's actually like a B7.5.
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, it's too
Snaps.
good.
Yeah. Do you find that like a lot of people head over the like? So for us, I've mentioned this in the past. It's like if you're going to do anything really car related in Vancouver, you're going to go to the US. Do you
Mhm.
find that is like that in Toronto, or is it like it sounds like it's so big that people are like very almost content to just like they could stay there and make an existence of it?
Definitely. I mean, I feel like anybody who's leaving isn't like going to like Buffalo or to like New York or anything. They're usually going a good distance, right? Like we always used to go down to H2O, which is in Maryland, and it's
cool.
usually like a good 10, 15 hour drive from
Yeah.
where we want to be. I mean, a lot of guys go down to Simply Clean in Florida, which is a pretty crazy show. But I mean, we're not afraid to drive anywhere, I guess. But there's nothing really in like upstate New York that really makes it worthwhile. And I guess most of Michigan doesn't have a whole ton, but Chicago does. But again, it is a bit of a hike, and Chicago roads are pretty terrifying. So
How are the roads where you are?
it depends where you are. I mean, in my city, they've got their spots. You definitely got to know your routes. We have a ton of roundabouts now, or traffic circles, depending on how you call them. So we've got a lot of that now, which makes driving really, really fun. But yeah, I mean, the roads are hit and miss. There's just some roads that you like straight up just can't go down.
Just because they're so bad?
Just mangled. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So especially driving in the GTA, like driving downtown Toronto is like, I mean, that's probably half of what I do most of the time is cracked wheels from Toronto streets, right?
Oh, wow.
So yeah, they're real bad in the city. So nothing good to say about that.
Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people complain about our roads, but honestly, like our roads here are quite good. Like you can drive like a pretty low car, like for sure. And like I've never had a mangled wheel or like popped a wheel from a pothole or anything. So
sure, yeah.
Only once.
I did.
I have.
You have. Okay, yeah.
The Prius.
What?
Oh, I mean that's
a 16.
No, it has 17s on
Low
it.
Pro 17s, bro.
Dang.
Low Pro 17.
Yeah, he upgraded it, bro.
Yeah,
I didn't. My dad did.
they're Yankees,
Old
bro.
Freddie Bennett. Yeah, old Freddie Benoit did that.
Sports.
I don't even know what they are. I looked it up, but now I don't. It doesn't. It's irrelevant.
Yankee something or other.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've never seen that BC has bad roads. In all honesty, like most time I've been out there, the roads have seemed okay. But I mean, I feel like everyone praised California for having such nice roads for so long. And like when you get to California,
oh man,
anywhere in LA, especially, it's like, oh, here's like a ridiculous grade to get into this like single restaurant. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, it wasn't even that. It's like there's a dip and then the grade. It's like you literally have to. I remember in the Aristo, I had to drive like at like a 15-degree angle to the road and like do all the shit and drive on the sidewalk and back up because like there's no way you can even get into there. Like
they also love doing road work and then just like forgetting that they were doing it and then just like being like, oh, let's put a big steel plate on it, no problem. 3/4 inch steel.
Oh, that huge plate.
What the fuck is this, dude? It's terrible.
I remember like the bridge, you'd get like the overpass and shit, and they'd be like jumps. You'd go up and then the road would just drop away. You'd just be like, I remember like, just subframe on the ground. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, it was rough. And then they have
what about in a neighborhood where two roads meet and it's just like, it's like a pyramid at a skate park. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
If you go slow up that, you're just going to teeter on it. It's terrible.
Yeah, I just stop.
And on top of that, they have the traffic markers as like the lane indicators.
Yeah, those things are huge.
You drive a slammed car on that shit, you hit those, that sucks.
Yeah, were we ripping those things off on our way down? Yeah.
Yeah, they're and when you hit them, they sound bad. Despite them just being plastic, but
I mean they're like pretty solid. They definitely like break one off. Like you feel that in the car. The car bumps out. Like
they're like lagged in or something.
Yeah. I think they use some crazy glue. They're just glued on, but it's like PL, like super duper PL.
Ooh, that's a PL 5000.
Yeah, exactly.
So you were saying when you were in Japan, you met 326 Power. How often do you go to Japan? What were you doing in Japan on that trip that you made that connection?
So I don't know. I've been 4 times now. I think three times, maybe 4 times. And I mean, pretty much just go to hang out, drink beer, and wander around. I mean, it's an incredible country. Everything down there is just way cooler than it is here. It seems. That time around, we were just there to kind of wander around and see things. We went to Auto Salon that year. That's the first time we've been to Auto Salon. It's the first time we've been in January. And basically just wander around. We got engaged. Me and my girlfriend Erin got engaged that time around, which is part of the reason for our whole meet and greet at 326 because of Marcus from 326 Germany. So
cool.
Yeah, it's pretty much anytime I've been there, it's just been to hang out and wander around and see things. So it's really not that expensive of a place to go if you just kind of wing it and chill. So.
What's your specialty? What's your favorite thing? Is it like the setting up of the cars with like the stands and stuff, or is it like working on the wheels, or is it selling the cool 326 parts, like the clout sort of surrounded with like being like 326 Canada? It's a bit of, you know what I mean? It's a bit of like a cool thing.
Yeah, no, that's been cool as hell. I literally love when somebody just hands me a car and says like, yo, make this thing cool. Yeah. 99% of the time, those people hand you a car and be like, yo, set it up how you would. And I end up raising it by the time they come pick up the car. But I love that aspect when someone just like hands you the keys and says like, make this thing as cool as you would make it. That's coolest aspect because you used to work on everybody's different chassis, whatever it may be, and like build them whatever wheels I think is going to be cool on it. And if they agree, then we're on board. Right. So I love that aspect of it. But recently, I mean, I'm getting older. I'm getting tireder. I definitely like just like selling parts outright, and like the handshake and the see you later.
See you later.
It's real nice. But no, I do really appreciate like fully like sitting down, building a whole car with somebody, handing the keys back to a car from like stock to badass. So
that's cool.
Definitely my favorite part of that.
So is it just you, or do you have like extra employees or extra hands? So when you like build the car, is it you doing all the wrenching, or how does that go?
For the most part, I mean, the last all the COVID years has pretty much just been me. I've got a good buddy of mine, Ryan, that's helped out in the shop doing suspension parts, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't do refinishing in house, so my refinishing is sent out to a couple different shops. One being Roro Designs, which is my main powder coater. He does hand brushing, all kinds of stuff like that. I've had a number of other guys come in and help me with it, but mostly between those guys. And obviously because we work my shop alongside the Angus Audio shop across the road, we kind of like my family even helps out with it, right? Like, I mean, most of my packages and things that are shipped in are all shipped to the Angus Audio shop because we're there all the time. Mm-hmm. And I mean, 9 out of 10 times it's my brother or my dad or somebody else in the family that receives wheels, lips, barrels, whatever it may be, rather than myself. So yeah, it's kind of a team effort, but I'm the only real employee, I guess.
Right.
If you want to call me an employee. So
I do want to call you an employee.
Yeah.
Not only an employee, he's an owner. So one time Alex from Respec and I were having a conversation, and this is very early on when I met you on the internet, and then he was being Alex. He's like, I know him. We're in some secret wheel groups that you're not even supposed to know him. Like it was some type of weird flex. Like, and I was like, all right. Now he'll be mad that I said that. So
you let the cat out of the bag, buddy.
Oh, there's a secret group that I can't be a part of, unless it's talking about Spider-Man and superheroes and Transformers. I don't care. No,
we do talk about that. So you're fucked.
God damn it. How does one go about, I guess, like, it feels cloudy and that's not what I want to say, but like, how do you get to that level? Where are you at? Like, how did you climb the wheel ranks, like how did you do it?
I don't think it's anything where we like climbed the ranks of it or anything.
You bribed the wheel mafia.
Yeah. That's how you do it.
I think for the most part, like all the guys that are known in this and trusted in this industry, and like we all know each other, right? Like, I mean, there's very small amount of us that are actually like will rely on each other and deal with each other and like want to deal with each other, and it excludes a lot of those like big shops that don't really take care of their customers, right? So I mean,
names. No, go on.
No, for real though. Like I mean, I'll say it outright because my Facebook and my Instagram is full of it. But like 3-Piece USA or 3-Piece US, whatever the hell you want to call them. Those guys are terrible. They screw people over left, right, and center. Pretty much everybody that's in that secret group that you're talking about knows and has to fix the shit that they deal with on a daily basis, and it's tiring, man. Like, if you continually had to deal with like a single brand of car that kept breaking down for being so crappy,
BMW,
everybody would talk shit about them. I was going to say Kia, but yeah, Kia Hyundai.
I mean, Kia's not even a car brand, but
yeah, sick to forklifts, boys. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I feel like everybody in that group has come to a kind of a, what is the word for this?
Realization.
A realization, like a level ground, a consensus. That none of us like the guys that are doing this stuff and like screwing people over, right? And like 3-Piece US is one of those guys, and that sucks. And like a lot of people find this out the hard way, and they order wheels off them, they get them in, and they're absolutely mangled, and then they bring them to someone like me or someone like Alex, or they bring them to Chamorro Boy, which is Lee Cruz out of San Diego, and have to fix this crap, and it sucks. So yeah, I'm not against talking out about guys that don't do us any good. Like they did.
But I mean, how big is that company, and how many wheels do they move compared to the little guys like you guys?
A lot. Those guys are like
fucking huge, right?
Yeah, they're big. So
yeah, they bring in like
VR,
multiple containers per
yeah
per year, yeah.
And they don't check them over. They just like look and see like, oh, set of VSKFs, no problem. Ship it out to a customer, $3,000 sucks. They're broken. And like that's just like regular life for them, right? They're almost as big as VR, but VR is on another level. Jack actually knows what he's talking about. He's a really, really good dude, and I've dealt with him for years and years. And like, I mean, he is the god of 3-piece when it comes to North America, and 3-piece US wanted a piece of that, and they're just not pulling it out. So I don't know.
Isn't it VR? Who is it that makes VMR wheels? Isn't that VR? No, that's
no. You're thinking of GMR.
GMR is from VR.
So VR makes GMR.
Yeah.
So
it's okay for them to replicate all the popular wheels.
So I was down there 2 weeks ago, and a lot of people love to talk shit about this. They love to say that like, oh, they make cast wheels that are or they make like forged wheels. They're just versions of the replica wheel, right? Those wheels are not made here. They're made in Japan. They're made by the same parent company to Work Wheels. A lot of those faces are cut in Japan by Work. Like there's only a handful of companies in Japan that are fully producing these wheels and like making quality wheels. So,
but why do they style them after popular wheels that you can't get anymore?
Because you can't get them anymore. I mean, that
makes sense. It's just like,
I mean, if you want an 18-inch Minerva, 18-inch Minervas have been discontinued for 15 years, right?
Yeah.
If you can't get it anymore, what's the point not to make it? So,
yeah. No, I mean, I hear that. I mean,
and I mean, they're somewhat civil about it. For instance, they made a version of the Leon Orden when the Orden was discontinued. When they brought the Orden back out, as a forged model, like a fully forged Orden model, they completely changed the version of the Orden they had. They made the spokes thinner. They made the breakout at the register a lot smaller. They changed the wheel completely. So they're not out there to just like steal designs. They're out there to like reproduce and better the wheel from what it used to be.
Almost like paying homage to like the cool wheels or something.
100%. Yeah.
But also you can maybe now diminish people's value of like Blitz 03. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. How do you feel about the Blitz? Anyway.
So you run 326 coilovers pretty much exclusively?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, we've got 326 in just about all the cars. Aside from the E46, it's bagged. But trying to think of a car that isn't. Yeah, pretty much. But prior to that, we were mostly Stance, right? I mean, going with the same stuff you guys were on. Stance was like the best bang for the buck coilover for a long time, and they made quality coilovers that actually worked for what we were doing. So
yeah, that's cool.
That was the natural progression from Stance into 326. So
yeah, you think the 326s are better?
I do. I haven't dealt with Stance in a long time. I've never dealt with Stance directly. I've always bought them through a third party. So I've never actually seen like how those guys would treat me.
And you've never done the custom valve or anything. They're just mainly off the shelf stuff
for Stance? Yeah, exactly. Just because like we straight up don't have a Stance dealership out here. Like we have nobody who like fully brings in Stance, right? Aside from that, I've had stuff like PVM and everything. That's nice quality stuff. But there's nobody else that's doing stuff like 326 Power is.
Yeah.
I mean, they're giving you insane spring rates. They're giving you the ability to they're giving you stainless bodies at half the cost of your average KW V3. Which I mean, I don't think there's really anybody doing stainless bodies. So that's a nice.
It's weird that they do stainless bodies. Why?
I don't know. It's
like a corrosion thing in Japan. Like half these cars don't get driven in inclement weather. You know what I mean?
I mean, anything that's just like painted steel is obviously going to rot regardless of where you are, right? But yeah, they definitely don't have the corrosion problems we have, unless you're North Japan and Hokkaido and everything. But
I mean, maybe it's just easier to do a stainless body than like a steel body that's like has some bullshit coating that's like probably not very good anyways.
Yeah, that's true. So, and I mean, their dampers all come from the same company that like makes T-Demand dampers, right? So, like, if they're ordering one style, I mean, I don't think they're going to opt for a different coating or a different material on them. Right?
Yeah, there's like piggyback on whatever you guys have.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. But they're black, or are they like stainless looking?
They're stainless. Yeah, they're like polished stainless. Yeah, for the most part.
Yeah, crazy.
They do have like an entry model that is not stainless, but they're significantly less money, right? So I'm assuming those are probably Taiwanese dampers, but I've never had them. They're mostly for like small vehicles and
like K cars.
Yeah, exactly. So
the 326 coils are made in Japan.
Yeah. So, and they're all still hand assembled like in Japan at the original like 326 factory. So, after going there, you kind of see the whole process, right? Like, if you've ever seen any like the walkthroughs of the shop, like they fully like hand assemble them on that bench and everything, put them right in the box and ship out. So it's not like you're getting something where like a lot of those Taiwanese companies just like order some stuff from Taiwan and then shoot them out to wherever you are, right?
Mm-hmm.
So,
but the dampers are all pre-assembled. They basically have like a gang of dampers and they just pick from it.
Yeah. They order all the dampers according to the rating. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only guys I know that are like building dampers here and like fully sealing them and valving them here is a company out of Montreal called Bespoke.
Yeah, I've seen that.
They started out as kind of like doing the Taiwanese dampers and everything. And like the price point was like very low to begin with. And as they got into like hand building their dampers and everything here, they got a lot nicer. So that's a real nice coilover for being something we can get out of Canada and not have to pay crazy tariffs on and everything. So,
Hey, where do you see the future of Righteous Garage going?
I honestly have no idea.
To the moon.
Give me your 5-year plan.
I'll give you the this month plan. I think it's the 31st. I don't know. I think we're going to keep doing what we're doing. I think a lot of this is shifting to new sales rather than used and imported stuff. I think that the yen being at par almost with Canadian dollar right now has helped with that a ton. It probably won't stay that way. The yen will climb again, but I think right now we're just kind of going with the flow and seeing what's next. Definitely in the wheel aspect, new is where it's at for yen to USD, because the USD is killing us. Like rebuilding wheels right now is the most expensive it's ever been, and I don't see it changing, which sucks.
It's crazy because like rebuilding some shitty old wheels costs you so much more than just buying fucking new works or something. You know,
exactly. Like
was really crazy. And like, I mean, I guess I'm not like I literally just rebuilt a set of MAEs, but I've always just been like, just buy some new works. Like it's like so much more like cost effective, or there's more value in it. You know what I mean? So
yeah, and you get it out of the box, like ready to go. Like you don't have to like.
Like you ordered that offset, you ordered that width, you know what I mean?
You ordered
that finish. Yeah, exactly.
You're good to go, right? Throw them on the car and you're good.
It's funny though, because that doesn't land like the top players, it feels like, aren't doing that, right? Like nobody's trying. I might be like just talking completely out of my ass. So if I am, stop me. But it's like you look at all these YouTubers that are setting trends, and it's like they have the Blitzo 3s, they have the, all that shit, and people keep pursuing these old wheels. Nobody's going after, like, what you guys are saying makes total sense, but it's like it almost seems like the wish list is still to get that old
sheep
wheel.
That's why, because people are sheep.
Yeah, 100% agreed. I mean, majority of those guys are putting Blitzo 3s on everything or KFs on everything, and like, sure, it looks okay, but like, there's way cooler wheels. And like, I've listened to previous podcasts with you guys where it's like, there's wheels in the new catalogs that are way cooler than those wheels, and nobody's even getting into them. They're still spending double, triple the money on Blitzo 3s.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy though. It's like I feel like a lot of that though is like the recognition, because it's like you want to cater to 10% of the general population, or you want to cater to 90% of the population. And it's like, if you have a Blitzo 3, 90% of the people will think that's cool. If you have a fucking, I don't know, like a CR2P or a T7R2P or a Yaba King spoke or Yaba King mesh, fucking 2% of the last 10% even know what those fucking wheels are and think they're cool. And that, you know, maybe there's 10% of the people that like can appreciate the look of it, but they don't even know what the fuck it is. You know what I mean? So it's like,
yeah, absolutely.
You're too caught up trying to build cars for other people, bro. Build a car for yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
The internet builds have taken a hold of those styles.
Exactly.
Of wheels.
That's what I mean. It's
rough.
But you got to think that some of those people are in like a big enough a big enough position of power that if they were to do
that's kind of what I mean.
They could set the trend.
They could, but they don't. Like even for example, like what's that? There's that guy, I think he's Vietnamese, he's super big, Illmatic or whatever. He just bought a Ferrari or some shit, Liberty Walk Ferrari in Japan. Anyways, he had a Supra, like a new Supra. It was pretty nice, but he had it on like built, I guess like 19-inch KFs, like pretty cool, like 19-inch KFs on like the new Supra. Like it looked pretty good and shit. Like it was pretty sweet. But like, I feel like, that car wouldn't have got the same notoriety if it just had like some new work wheels, because I guess
like Zeist or something like.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have the like recognition or the clout or like the following. So like, I feel like it is what it is, man. It's like, I feel like maybe you and me or like some other, other people that like appreciate all wheels, we're kind of trying to like rally for like the underdog, like the rest of the wheels that people aren't into, because like we know that those are cool and we think they're cool. But like, I think that they just get glossed over by like the majority of the population. So there's you know what I mean? Your car can only ever be.
I feel like they always see this shit on Instagram and everything. They see KFs on the Instagram car and everything, but they've never unboxed like a brand new wheel.
Exactly.
Like unboxing a brand new wheel, like I don't care what model it is, even if it's a model you don't like, that shit's cool. Like that shit feels
honestly
cool.
It's like Christmas.
Really love is ordering the fucking wheel. I love speccing the wheel. I think that's so cool. I remember looking at the little fucking chart and be like, oh, I can get this lip size with that. It's like, well, that's not going to clear my brakes, so I have to factor in the 5 mil spacer and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that shit I love, man. And then picking the finish and stuff, because that's your fucking wheel. I remember like every set of works I've ordered, it's like some weird ass like special finish. Like when I ordered the Meister M1s with like the black gloss lip and like the matte fucking silver face and like the chrome bolts or whatever, I was like, this shit's like fucked up, but I know it's gonna look cool. I mean, it looked pretty good, but like it was definitely different, and like nobody had them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I guess that is the aspect that brings like a lot of people back to like sourcing used wheels and like building them from the ground up, right? Like sourcing the 7.5J plus 50s and building them in what they want, and like, well, I want to do a full brushed face, and I want to do pink inner barrels and whatever else on the outer.
But even with that, it's just like, all right, so your inner barrel's this, your outer lip's going to be that or this, and it's 1/2-inch increments, and that's what you get. Yeah. So you're kind of like, these are it's either this size of wheel or it's this size of wheel with this offset, or But when you get the work, it's like you're playing Battleship there. There's so many things that you can almost do it to the millimeter,
On the welded rims, you can do it to the millimeter. Like the 2-piece welded ones. Yeah, it's
which is also why 326 Power only offers a 2-piece welded wheels. It's because you can nail down the offset to the millimeter rather than a multi-piece, like being a 3-piece wheel. You're dependent on the disc size of the face, right? Yeah. So I mean, if you get a set of wheels and they're full A disc from work, you're pretty limited to that 1/2-inch increment that you got to run with, right? But if you get a set that's full O disc, you can space out off of your caliper and deal with all that, right? So, two pieces where it's at when it comes to like nailing down fitment. But I'd much rather just buy all O disc wheels and space them out to like nail a fitment. Because I got no problem running spacers.
I do like on some of them though, like how the face like when the bolts are further in on like the A disc, I think it like kind of looks cool. I almost like every time I order like an O disc for the back, I'm always like, man, one day I'm gonna just buy like some fucked up like R discs all around, and so you
can actually like sync your lugs.
Yeah, so they have like the weird ass face with like they kind of curve in the middle, whereas like all the other ones are like kind of really flat. It's just like a different look, right? So, but
I don't disagree. Yeah, that always looks good.
Yeah. Just like
But that's always the glory of using like different size lug nuts, right? Which is why obviously 3-6 Power, T-Demand, those guys all use like they give you options of your lug nut length. So
yeah. I feel like we got to get those. That's another thing we should probably put on our list, Kevin.
Yeah.
Because we can get those samples any day.
lug nuts.
Yeah, we've had lug nut designs for like 4 or 5 years. Yeah,
a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while. We just never got them sampled, never got anything. But yeah, we could definitely 100%. It should be a little project. I'm gonna put that in right now.
Put that in a sauna. Let the people
put
know.
that in a sauna.
Come in soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Other questions? Other wheels?
I don't know. Listening to you guys talk about wheels is great, but I mean, like, I can't really like.
I do feel like
much.
one thing I was gonna say though is I feel like so out of all the wheels I've sort of bought new, I feel like the ones that sort of had the most pull or the most clout were the Meister S1s, the Meister M1s, because it was like they're a Meister, so it's like already kind of sick, and then the M1 was kind of always the Brombacher like Porsche wheel, you know what I mean? So it's kind of like if you knew anything about like those wheels, then it was kind of like that sort of tied together that iconic Porsche work wheel that you only ever saw on like those RWB cars. And then that was like now on like, my Aristo or whatever. But yeah, all those, like even the ones I have on the Blit and stuff, it's like, they're cool, but like,
they're not Meister cool.
They're not Meister cool. You know what I mean? So,
the whole Meister line, everything they do in that line is like, is untouchable. It's always so nice.
Yeah. Like the L1s, when they came out, I was like, oh,
yeah. Especially like throwback to old Mugen wheels and everything. Like, just looks so good.
Yeah. There is something about this 6-spokeness though that I kind of not like a total, you know what I mean? Like because if it was a 5-spoke version, it sort of reminds you of like those old Supra, like JGTC, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wheels. But the 6-spoke, I don't know. There's something that's like less. I feel like maybe it's like a psychological thing, like to go with a symmetrical number of spokes as opposed to like, or not like an even number of spokes versus an odd number of spokes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
but I think 5 spokes are always the way to go, personally.
Yeah, for sure.
They look good on everything.
I don't know. I love the L1. It looks so hard. Just like such a tough looking wheel.
Yeah, it's almost like ugly hot. It's like
it's like race car aesthetic.
Yeah. And in some cars look so good with them, but some cars look so busted with them. You know what I mean? There's one car, I think I sent it to you guys recently, and it was like the dude had fully 2 different discs and 2 different like offsets, but it was like a weird ass like Subaru. Yeah. But yeah, it was like he had and people were like, yo, like what's up with the fitment on those like front wheels or rear wheels or something? I think he had like a more fucked up, like shittier, less lip on the back.
Yeah.
But like people were still saying like, oh, that looks so sick. That looks so sick. And I was like, it was literally the first thing I noticed about the car. I'm like, what's up with those fucking rear wheels? And yeah, only like a handful of people even mentioned it. It's weird. Because I guess that wheel in itself was so weird for that particular car.
Here we are.
And here we are. So a popular question that we've been asked is like, if you could have one, I don't even know, maybe you're not even legally allowed to answer this question, Blaine. One wheel manufacturer you'll see. Hold on. Right. One wheel manufacturer for the rest of your life. One wheel catalog. What do you choose?
I know what you choose.
Yeah, I mean, I know. That's why I wondered.
So up until probably like 4 to 5 years ago, it was Wedge. The whole Wedge catalog was so good. Yeah, the wheels were easy to work with. The hardwood was incredible. Everything about those wheels was so nice to work with. And I loved every wheel in the line at the time, right? That's when Bezrayas were available, LXZs were on the market. Like they were untouchable, right? In recent years, they've kind of changed that catalog. The catalog's not really suiting the stuff that I own. If I owned a brand new LS600, I'd be into those wheels, but it's just not it anymore, right? So I feel like now it's work, but go back a couple years and for majority of the cars I own, it's still Wedge.
I was gonna say a lot of the new Cryzes are just like really fucked up. Like they're just so crazy looking. It's like you couldn't put that wheel on like a like what you said, like a
crazy looking car.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you need an LS 500.
yeah.
To make those crazy looking wheels look at home, right?
Or some like F80 BMW has like just fucked up wheels, right?
Mantle angles like through the door panels and shit. Like it has to look crazy to suit those new crazy wheels.
Yeah.
So, and I mean, those wheels are like, again, like the open box thing. You open those up and you look at them, you're like, whoa, these are crazy. Am I trying to put them on anything that I drive? Probably not, but they look cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, work.
Good.
It's crazy how big work is, man. Like every show, everything in Japan, it's just like work is literally the king of wheels. Like in Japan,
100%.
it's like so fucking crazy.
And the only runner up to that, or I'd say like even beyond them in terms of like production and ownership and everything, is Enki, because Enki owns and produces everything else that work doesn't, if it's not Rays, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, Enki is the manufacturer for WEDs. So I mean, but between those three being Rays, Enki, and Work, they're the superpowers of multi-piece wheels.
I was gonna say a lot of the new Rays wheels are really sick. Like the you know how they've gone that like really techno kind of looking, like the FXX and like the FXV and all this other shit. Like they just released that new truck one, the truck TE, fucking weird ass forged looking thing.
Dude, that wheel is so sick.
So sick, right?
They look awesome.
So sick, man.
Yeah, it fully looks like an F1 car wheel. Like, you know what I mean? Like they just needs to like the deep lip. Like it fully just looks so nuts. Yeah.
Well, they're like deep and squared off and everything. It looks like very like utility.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
Yeah, but they got to offer them in fucking silver instead of like bronze and gunmetal and matte black and fucking worse colors.
And Rays does offer like mercury silver on a lot of wheels.
Yeah. It's limited. Like honestly, like a lot of those like weird like Gram Light FXX or whatever what I think it's called, something whatever that weird line is. Like they do offer them in like kind of cool colors. But
for some reason, they only do it for like a limited time. It's like, it was a limited run of like silvers.
Yeah, man. There was one that was available for 1 month. It's like, why, man? Like
that sounds like some Serial 9 shit.
Yeah,
I just want to buy this stupid shift knob, and they only let it for sale 9 minutes.
Yeah, a 9-minute sale. Okay, cool. It's fucking green. Who cares?
I want this shift knob that looks like it's been like tie-dyed or hit with like a paintball gun. Oh, but I can only get it to buy if I like buy a box and then they draw my name. Like,
I can only win it.
Yeah, I can only win this fucking like dope ass shift knob. Oh, cool. Yeah. Anyway. I love you getting mad at other people for like doing the exact same thing you would do.
I won
but
one
it's
of
funny because it's secretly like Rays know that silver wheels are where it's at. That's why they don't actually sell them, because they're just trying to sell the shitty ones every single day and the cool ones once a month, like for 1 month out of the entire like 5 years that they fucking sell those wheels.
Makes them worth more. Yeah,
but they're trying to keep it like hype beast style, right? Like they're trying to make it so that like everyone's like, oh, we only have 20 sets of these. Only 20 people can get these, right? But
Supreme.
Everyone else has to run blue wheels.
Yeah, you get mag blue, no silver.
Yeah, honestly, like even that shit too, man. It's like, what the fuck is with who wants blue wheels? And like, I don't know, man. It's not my jam. But
Gran Turismo 2.
Yeah. It's like in Gran Turismo 2, I would always put those like fucked up wheels on in the garage and end up taking them off. I would never even want to run them in the game. I'm just like, those are cool. And then I was like, nah, I'm just gonna put these other ones on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just not it. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I do like mag blue though.
You do?
I do like mag blue. Yeah, it's a good color, man. You put it on the right car, like a white S2000 with mag blue TEs.
That's not my jam, nice, dude.
I love how that's like the perfect example, but like it's still like not for me. Like that's the only thing it could be. Maybe a white NSX, but still
that works too.
Yeah, but nah.
Just only Honda. Is this what we've decided?
Yeah.
What if it was on like a white IS 350?
No, it ain't it.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe
I feel like,
every
yeah,
time.
like Hondas get all the boy racer colors. Like, I mean, the white on white and everything works so good on those cars.
Yeah,
like,
white on white's pretty sick.
Yeah, like they can do,
Yeah.
they can pull off like spoon yellow brakes or spoon blue brakes and like Mugen yellow wheels on a white EG. Like that looks cool. Put that on anything else, it looks stupid as hell.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
You want to know something that's okay? This is kind of weird. I am not a huge fan of black wheels or dark wheels or any of that shit. I never really liked it or whatever. But so I've been sort of recently getting into like, this track racing thing and the track racing look. And I'm, trying to like imagine my track car style in my head. And so like, some of these wheel companies make like Apex Wheels makes, for the BMWs, they make, a lot of cool new finishes are like polished, brushed. And I'm thinking, okay, cool. You can get like bright, like racing wheels and shit. And then I'm like looking at it, I'm thinking, man, like I kind of just want the black ones.
No.
So I've never been like into this, but like now I'm like, I want to build like an aggressive looking track car. And I swear, like,
yeah,
maybe and so now I'm sort of understanding why people think that black wheels are cool because they look more like aggressive, less pretty. You know what I mean?
Boo.
You know how I know you own a BMW?
Because I want black wheels.
Talking
You
about
brought
that
up
bullshit.
Apex wheels.
Yeah. Oh, they're
Yeah.
pretty cool, man. I don't know. What is your take on them? They seem like they're pretty good wheels for what they are.
I honestly don't know enough about the company. I think like we have a distribution for them here in Ontario, which I don't know where they're made. I'm assuming it's Taiwan or China.
I think
given
it's
the price
Taiwan,
point.
yeah.
But I don't know. They've got like wheels that look like stuff that goes on BMWs. That's all.
It's a very BMW-esque. It's a very
yeah.
BMW-esque.
They've got like the mesh wheel. They've got the one that fits the M2. They got the one that fits the M3.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's about it. So I don't know. No real experience with them. They do crack. We fix them, but is what
They
it is.
offer a 50% replacement. Like, so if you break one of their wheels, they'll sell you another one half off.
Seems lucrative.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but it makes it's kind of cool.
Make a shitty wheel that breaks and
That's the
charge people to
hustle
buy
right
another
there.
one. Yeah.
And then we'll buy you this.
then
We'll sell you
you're
the second one at 800% markup, anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
They are pretty cheap though. They are pretty cheap.
They are. So they are super affordable. They're like relatively lightweight. So
Yeah.
I think they work pretty good for what they are.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, that's cool.
Mostly BMW stuff though.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, if you're on a budget, they do have so they have like cast wheels, flow form wheels, and they have forged wheels now. So that's like actually kind of sick.
Oh shit!
So
Okay, I
kind of like
know
moved up. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think only last year or something they introduced like a couple of the same wheels, slightly restyled, but now they're forged. So like,
now that are forged model.
they're definitely like making their way up into the
I mean, I feel like that happens in a lot of different wheel companies.
Yeah.
They just start like they start with the cast wheels, do whatever, and then they go and make an actual forged wheel.
That's what we're gonna do.
And stuff. So yeah, do it, man.
Yeah, we're gonna try to make some wheels here. So
well, yeah, I know you guys have previously talked about like the whole situation with like the Volino wheels and everything, right? Like, I mean, that wheel works great, comes in good specs.
Yeah,
beats out most of the other stuff that's on the market.
Yeah. We're sort of just trying to make some single piece, cool, half decent quality, half decent weight, but really like maybe some like kind of cool designs that are not the most traditional. Probably have one that's like kind of a bit traditional.
Yeah.
And maybe one that's like a bit not traditional, and then maybe one that's like kind of fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, little abstract, but keeps himself in the normal lane.
Yeah, I want to do like a directional wheel. I think those things are fucking sick. Directional, like I just like love. I feel
like I never see directional wheels, and like when I see them on a car, I never realize they're directional.
Yeah,
which is the biggest killer for me. Like you see the car and you're like, oh shit, looks cool, and then like you see the other side of it and you're like, still looks cool. That's it.
Yeah. The whole thing with directional though is like you have rights and lefts, or you just have one way, and then on one side of the car they're going forward, on the other side of the car they're going backwards. So I feel like
who's catching the backwards?
That's what I'm saying. I think I think it just has to be all one way.
Yeah, so, all forward.
Yeah,
never back.
Yeah, so
always forward, never back. Well, great. Do you feel like we've missed anything?
No.
No.
Nah.
Just some sleep.
Just some sleep. Blaine, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to? Any do you have any shout outs, recognition, anything you want to say?
I don't know. I felt like I was the game on this. I was name dropping the whole way through it anyways. So
yeah, you did it. I was real proud.
Yeah, I don't know. I try. But I don't know, man. Like my buddy Dave, who's Dave Levin Photography, he does all my photos. He's basically my Ryan, so to speak.
Oh yeah.
That dude is honestly an MVP for me. He helps me with so much shit in the shop. I wouldn't have a website without him. I wouldn't have any of my actual ability to do things on the internet. So I do have a website. I don't know how to use it. So it's righteous. What the fuck is it? Is it .ca or .com? I gotta look.
It better be .com.
I'm buying.
I think it's .com.
I'm buying.
Enjoy
.ca.
it.
I'm making a redirect.
It's .ca. It's .ca. It's not loading right now.
What? .ca? No.
Yeah, look at that shit.
Why do you hate Canada, Gerard?
I don't know, because it's like you're like spec yourself into like a Canadian. You know what I mean?
I'm not gonna lie. I don't really like to ship things into the US. It's frustrating.
Yeah. And plus, I mean, they probably. Yeah. Do you have a big market in Canada?
It's pretty much my only market. Like I have some American customers that I do deal with, but they're guys I've dealt with for a long time. So I'd much rather just deal in Canada. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm just lazy.
No, I think
I mean, you can't really sell 362 Power Canada shit to the US, you know?
Yeah.
That's valid too. I mean, 366 Power US is June's department. So, I mean, anything like anybody who contacts me is like, oh, I'm in the US. I want to buy this. It's like,
sorry,
okay. Message these guys. I can sell to you, but it's not really my thing. I don't really want to do it. It's not really I don't want to drop ship stuff to you for no reason. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of makes it. Also, I was going to say, it sounds like even the way that you've described everything in Ontario is more or less like that scene seems very like self-sufficient. Whereas like where we are, it feels like our scene doesn't exist if you can't cross the border. So in a way,
that's true. Yeah.
Yeah. I honestly can't say that for sure. I feel like the market for a lot of these things in Southern California is so saturated, but up here it's a little bit different. I mean, we do go Canada wide. We sell out under the Maritimes. We do a lot of stuff in the prairies, but I don't know for sure. It's hard to say without like fully reaching them, I guess.
You're sending stuff to Bunny Hug Country. What are you sending to Bunny Hug Country?
We've done some aero out there and stuff. We've done there's a dude in Alberta that did like a full 3D Star 3D6 Power S15 kit, like everything on that car, and then that thing was crazy as hell. And I mean, I never seen that car, but it looks cool. So
cool.
One thing I was going to ask you. Oh, yeah, go on.
I was going to say, I was thinking about this today. Like, does the Maritimes have like a crazy car scene?
No,
I wouldn't think so.
They've got a couple crazy cars that I know of at least. I mean, I've not gone to an event out there or anything. I'd like to, but I know a handful of cars out there that are pretty cool. I can think of a handful of guys that are like pretty sick at it, and they're doing some big things. And we've sold parts out there, but again, I've not seen those cars and I've seen them complete. So hard to say for sure. Definitely a lot less people.
Yeah.
It must be tough.
It's a bit spread out too, like for having, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I feel like New Brunswick and Nova Scotia pretty much have the market, and that's really about it. I don't know much. I've never sold anything in Newfoundland, so.
Or Labrador. No, sorry. But Driven does a Halifax show too, right? Anyway.
That's true. That's true.
I don't know if that.
Did not know that.
So I mean, we have Driven. So how many Drivens is there? We have Toronto. We have Calgary.
Calgary has a Driven.
Calgary. I
think there's an Edmonton, a Winnipeg.
Oh, they have Winnipeg.
Saskatchewan occasionally, and then Vancouver.
Does Driven do the US or no?
I don't think so. No, that's like a Canadian thing.
Yeah, that's Mark from Driven does that.
Marcito.
Very nice gentleman.
Yeah.
Flew me to Saskatchewan once. I was like, yo, I'd rather go to Calgary. And he's like, you can go to Saskatchewan. I'm like, God damn it.
I was gonna say, why do you do that? Doesn't sound like a nice guy.
Yeah, it's because I helped out. He read one of my articles once and was like, hey, you seem to like have a handle on what car shows should be, which I don't. I just wrote what I don't like about car shows. And then he sent me out to do like coverage. So he like paid for my flight to Saskatoon, which was all right. I hung out with
Sounds all right. Yeah.
That's cool. It snowed that day. There was a drift demo, but it was snowing outside. It was a whole thing.
Sounds like there.
This isn't about me. This is about everyone else.
One thing I was going to ask you, I'm going to ask this question. I mean, this can be on the record or off the record. Why are 326 wheels more expensive than work wheels? Because they're like a boutique brand of work, maybe?
To an extent. I mean, 326 Power pays to have their wheels produced by work.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think it's so much that it's just they pay a premium to get like kind of like front in line to produce the wheels. So I mean, like on average, like through COVID, your average work wheel, like say like your 18-inch VSXX was like 7-8 months out. Pretty much all the way through COVID, 326 Power wheels were like 3 to 4 months the whole way through. So I honestly, I can't say if that's like a premium that they pay to be at the front of the line or not.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, it is the same wheel. You're getting the same product.
Mm-hmm.
But
that's cool.
Yeah, hard to say.
One of the things when I did price out those wheels for me and I wanted to get those other wheels, I'm just like, man, they're just so fucking expensive. Like even with the discount and everything, it's like they're just unbelievably expensive. And like,
I guess it also depends on your importer, right? I mean, if you're bringing in work wheels through somebody who's under declaring them, you're going to pay significantly less tax. And we can't really work that with 326 Power. They really want to sell or ship in at full insured rate of the cost of the wheel at like retail amount, which is hard to sway them for, right? So I mean, we end up paying a lot more tax on it, and as you know, with anything imported, it adds up real fast.
Yeah, and then when you're trying to buy 8 of them, it adds up.
Gerard wants sponsorship. This is Gerard being like, sponsor me, bro.
Yeah.
Sponsor me, bro.
Come on, Haraguchi.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see, because I think, there might be a couple of wheel D builds in the fucking near future, because I have no idea, and I'm 90% sure that the Aristo wheels will not fit on the 100. Like, no matter how fucking wide my fenders are, they're just too big.
I think we covered a lot. I feel like I know a lot more about Blaine. Now I feel like I can call you Blaine and not Righteous Garage, which is really nice. I'll still call you Righteous Garage. I think this was a great opportunity. What I really, really liked about this was like actually sitting down and talking for an extended period of time with someone I just randomly met over the internet. And learned a lot, and I appreciate all the things that you're about, Blaine. So, you know what? Thanks for stopping by, and I hope this inspires people to go check out Righteous Garage and what they're about.
We recommend it.
Highly recommended. Their photos are amazing. Their photographer is great. Everything about them is great. I love it. Can't get enough of it. That's the highest praise you can get. It's just half blottoed, full blottoed me being.
It's just great.
It's just
the best.
The Bears. Okay. Anyway, all right, Blaine. Do you got any parting words, wisdom, anything you want to say before we cut the cord?
Drop a truth bomb.
No, that's all I've got.
All
perfect.
Right. That's perfect.
Was talking to you?
Yeah.
Great talking to you. Thanks for everyone that wrote in, listened. We always appreciate it. Again, go check out Righteous Garage. Also, go check out SerialNine, obviously. Buy some merch from either of them, and let's make the world a better place. All right.
Yeah.
Bye.
Right. Peace out.
See ya.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Serial Podcast 9.